it is. Like both.
All right,
You're
we're
being
live.
throttled.
Yeah, and this is not my network connection
It's overloaded with bullshit. Yeah, that's just so overloaded with government control. Yeah, that's what it's overloaded with.
Well, I guess you look. They repeat all our net neutrality. They literally maybe down our connection.
That's next. I mean, look, if they can shadow ban and do all this, blame it on the AI over Facebook. They got you, man. They're literally one step away from just scrubbing you off the internet. They just jack with your ISP or play with your website, and you're gone.
Oops.
I mean, you have no presence anymore. You're gone.
That shit. Look, if it was the algorithm, the glitch in the algorithm, how come MSNBC never gets accidentally censored? Right? How
never.
Is never accidentally censored. If it was a problem in the programming, it should happen to them as much as it happens to us, right? At least every once in a while, they put out, thousands and thousands of posts and videos daily, right? Just in accidentally, something should get caught in censorship, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah. My bad. I guess we're broadcasting with a guest that isn't here. I just saw that. How did that happen? As a title. That's my mistake.
You mean our guest is not here?
No,
who am I talking to? What's going on?
Yeah, this is a great interview.
How could I have overlooked that? Guys, I don't know. Just keep on talking. I'll fix everything in the back
end. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Fuck. I was just talking to Terrence the whole time. I can't believe this.
Oh, I get a discount like 50%. No, it's like it's one of those things with any of these with any conspiracy theory, right? And I absolutely love them. But the deal is, most of them are false. Like they didn't happen or the wrong story. But a good 40% of them are real, and that you should be really concerned about. Like even if we're only right about 40% of the insane corruption that's going on on the planet, that is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's way too much.
and with most of these, you don't have the answers. Like one of them, my favorite is chemtrails, right? Do I know what chemtrails are? Absolutely not. Now is the question, will the government knowingly spray its population with harmful chemicals? Oh yeah, the answer is yes. They do.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just type into Google, and I mean, it's mind-blowing the amount of times that they know. Shit, I mean, the Flint's still going on now. So yes, your government will totally expose you to extremely harmful, expose you to those harmful chemicals for profit, 100%. So really, whether there's a conspiracy with chemtrails or not, that doesn't particularly matter in the fact that we have a government that will knowingly spray its citizens with harmful chemicals.
Yeah, there's been a huge, they used to be a no-no, like throwing all these toxins and all these aerosols and shit into the atmosphere. That was a bad thing. Now it's just like it's everywhere. You're cloud seeding over here for rain, and then you're chemtrailing to cut it off over somewhere over here, and then you're chemtrailing for to block out the sun. I mean, they got so many programs going. I mean, I don't even know that they know what the hell they're doing, honestly.
Well,
it's like a shotgun approach. We're just gonna spray shit everywhere and see what happens, and maybe correlate something somewhere.
Yeah, call Monsanto. We got some fucking chemicals to spray. I don't even know what they do, but we'll figure out what they do after we spray.
Yeah. You guys have some industrial waste we could just load up the plane with and spray it just to see what the hell happens. We're just
Neurotoxins. If you've got some extra Monsanto, if you've got some neurotoxins laying around, geez, I would love you to spray that all over my crops. You know, the shit that I'm going to eat. Please just cover it in neurotoxin. Yummy.
Oh,
well, you know, bugs will bite it if it doesn't have. Fine, let the bugs fucking bite it. I will eat a tomato that's got a bug bite in it rather than munch on neurotoxin for Monsanto. And I know it's Bayer Monsanto now, and they want to get rid of the Monsanto name. Honestly,
that was the first thing they got rid of.
Oh, this is a nightmare. So basically, one of the reasons that the entire planet is sick, right, that people are sick across America, across the world, is because of the chemicals that Monsanto pushes out. And the company that makes the medicines to treat them...
Harder soul. I mean, you know,
it doesn't
be better than that. I mean, it's a fascist dream.
Yeah, and I've not, like, because it just happened, I haven't got any good acronyms down, but I've been kind of working with, like, fuck Monsanto. Well, you know, it's called Bayer now, and I'll just kind of be like, okay, well, then Bayer fuck Monsanto? I'm not exactly sure what a bear fuck is, but it doesn't sound pleasant. I realize it's not spelled bear, but I'll play with it. We'll get something good going. Don't worry, you're not getting off the hook.
Well, they're huge, man.
Oh, they're everywhere, and with their genetically modified seeds, they're literally wiping out like every small farmer in America. You know, there's no corn that you can grow that hasn't been affected by GMO strands. None. Even the stuff that you grow non-GMO in your backyard, right, has still been exposed to GMO seeding. Right, so they've already been its DNA has already been changed, and look, not for the better. That's the point. You could use genetically modified foods, sorts of amazing things. Feed the entire, stop diseases and plants. You could go nuts, make stuff grow in arid regions. You could really do some amazing things. Any of that shit. That's not their game.
Yeah, now it's their excuse for, well, they make money on both sides. They make you sick, they make money off of that, and then they make more money allegedly trying to get your health back,
but never able to, no matter how much money they make, no matter how much money we give them, they just can't seem to kick out any cures for anything.
Yeah, that's true. It's strange how that happens.
They can treat you for the rest of your life. You know, everything's chronic illness now, right? You are going to be sick for the rest of your life, and we've taken it into our general nomenclature. Think of all the chronic. It's because they're not curing diseases. Chronic's the best thing that can happen, right? We have to treat you until you die. You have to pay us to live all the way up until you die. That's the game.
Yeah,
you don't have a choice.
It's a painful death. I mean, look, you sit there and rot that whole time because they're fucking with you, making you sick. You got to be a sick puppy to. I mean, you know, think of an idea like that, and then he goes, "No, man, we can't do that. That's just too evil." Get it over with. I mean, that would be the humane thing to do. If you're going to kill somebody, just kill them, get it over with. You know, but it's like, no, man, they want to torture you literally for your whole life. These people are sick, man.
Well, there's no profit in it. I mean, really, like, there's no profit in just letting you die. You know what I mean? Or just letting you live your life. They have to torture you to make this whole thing work. And I think that's a really good word. You know, they torture people emotionally. They torture people literally, physically, right? With medications.
Yeah.
Torture you politically. You know, everybody wants to desperately do something, but both of your choices are absolute positively shit. So, I mean, torture's a really good word for that. You know, the tortured soul is not something that's lost in the conversations that we're having.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. Yeah, okay, it's great for your bottom line. You know what got me is when I saw they brought the two CEOs. Did you see how they were smiling? And they were literally beaming. I mean, this is like a corporate coup from hell, man, and they know it. You know, it's just like it's like we're going to make a ton of money off this deal. And we're going to rebrand. There's no Monsanto. We rebrand the whole thing. You can't even, you can't even find that name anymore. It's been scrubbed out.
All right, I think I got most of our videos fixed. All right, most of them should be labeled.
You find?
Yeah, most of them should.
You got all those stray. You got all those stray packets. You got to herd your packets, get it back in line.
No,
it's because they stuck in the tubes. The internet is just a bunch of tubes.
Well,
and, you get too much.
Yeah, I'm still having 10% packet loss, but it's like whatever. It's not great, but and that's not on my end, so.
Yeah, it's insane to think that that some of these corporations still exist. I mean, while we're talking about it, so Enbridge Line 3, the paperwork for that got approved. So we can look forward to the countdown of the oil spill in the Great Lakes. Awesome! The only polluted freshwater system left in America. It will not be unpolluted for long. But yeah, they managed to push that through. And I mean, it's wildly unpopular in Minnesota. The people don't want it. It's just another blatant corporate corruption, right? The oil companies have paid you off and you will do anything, including poison your own people's water system for their profit, right? For not even a good portion of it, right? You just get a little slice of the pie, right? You just get reelected. 250,000. They're going to walk away with billions to poison your own people's water supply.
They got to be a bunch of old guys smoking cigars, just laughing their ass off at how little it takes to buy off these politicians, man. I just can't believe It's like, oh, well, he was worried about getting reelected. It's just like, well, fuck that, man. What does that have to do with anything? Selling your country out or selling out to one of these, corporations like that. Give me a break, man.
Well, I mean, in this case, your own people's water supply. You're selling your own people's water supply that is going to get poisoned. Right? There's no doubt, right, that this oil pipeline will leak like every single other oil pipeline. Every single fucking one. Every single one. Like, I don't know how to make that any more clear, right? Every single oil pipeline leaks. And they're deliberately, right, poisoning their own voters, their own people's water supply. There's like that. That's what we're talking about. That is treasonous.
Yeah, they seem to. I don't know. To me too, it's like I see them running these pipelines in paths that seem to contaminate the most water. Let's do it under a big reservoir or under the Great Lake. It's like, you mean you couldn't route that thing in some dry area so that if it leaks, it doesn't fuck up any water? But no, it's you run it right under the big ass river or something. It's like, man, come on,
And I think it's really, I think that's the point. Like, companies like Nestle want your water supply to be contaminated. They don't want you to be able to get fresh water. They don't want you to be able to get water anywhere else than from that bottle. And water, like, it's another one of those things they know you cannot live without water. You will do anything to get it. You will pay anything to get it. And once the water supplies, you have no choice. And you watch how much it'll start to cost for a bottle of water. As the oil companies slowly fade off to be replaced, you watch if there isn't, you know what I mean, that same, the water dollar.
The water dollar?
Yeah, if you're not part of the water conglomerate, if you're not part of the international water cartel, right, your people will not get water.
Yeah, they love to control shit like that. I mean, it's true.
And imagine what you would do if you're a nation, right, that's desperately trying to survive. Imagine what resources you would give up so that your people could live, right, for another 3 days. Right? Which resource would death so that you could drink water? But yeah, I mean that's where I see this is going. Their intent is to destroy our our water supplies, to destroy our aquifers.
Yeah, they're well, like Flint. See, I mean, if they can get away with Flint, and they're getting away with Flint, that's the thing. It's not, what they're trying or what's going on. I mean, they've been doing this for what 5 years plus now. I mean, this just didn't start yesterday. So
Oh
yeah,
no,
the experiment continues. It's just like it's unbelievable. It has to be part of some bigger federal experiment or something going on there because it's just ridiculous. Like, you mean you can't clean up the
I think
corruption, you can't clean up the pipelines, you can't clean up the entry supply. It's just, oh, and stealing the money's okay too for the candidates. You know,
and
Re-election fund. I mean, are you serious?
just in case you thought you were, I will send people to space before I will fix your water. Right? I will create an entirely new branch of military before I will fix your town's water. Like that's what they're telling you.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about you. That should be obvious by now. It's like, there's no choice other than to move out. I mean, whatever it is that is going on there will kill you, and because these people are nuts. That government up there, I mean, it's just, I mean, how do you explain something like that? It's like trying to explain, I guess,
Yeah,
like
there is
why California does
no
some of the shit it does
explanation.
either.
There's no repercussions.
Yeah, you're just so corrupt
The
that you can
punishment
literally.
the punishment for murdering children by poisoning their water, right? I guess is not death.
No, hey, you're not even going to get written a ticket or indicted or anything. I mean, they just don't care. They're not going to do anything about it.
No, no,
But you see that with everything, though. If the cops, they jump out of the car and blow you
like
away.
no repercussion.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the new standard, is that we're just not going to defend you, the little people.
And if you try and heavily armed mercenaries, right, to shoot you. No doubt, they'll send guys in complete riot armor with shotguns and tear gas and attack dogs and anything to protect these guys.
Yeah, it's a corporate state, man. Well, they've learned. See, government people have learned that they can cede power and obfuscate and point the finger at, that's something Facebook's doing or Google, and it solves their, they can get away with it in that way versus trying to do it from a government platform, because then it'd be like, oh, hey, it's you guys, our government, doing that. Well, now that they say, oh, well, that's Mark Zuckerberg over at Facebook doing that. What can we do? It's just
Nothing.
It's a bad excuse, but that's what they get away with nowadays.
Yeah, I mean it is a corporate state. That's it.
Yeah, I mean it's fascist. There's no doubt about it. I mean they love this corporate power. I mean this is fascist all the way, man. That's what they really love, because then they can blame the corporate logo for what's happening, and it's like, no, guys, come on, man.
Oh, I mean, it's like this. They can spend 50 years poisoning you, and then just change the name of your company. It's all good.
Yeah, the company's too big to fail. So I mean, there it is, right there. Yeah. It doesn't matter what they do; they are not going to fail.
Yeah. I mean,
we're not. This is the new. Well, it's a neo-feudalism, or I'm not sure what you call it, but yeah, it's like take money from the poor, give it to the rich. This private. No, it's privatization of profits, socialization of risk.
Yeah, corporate fascism.
Perfect corporate, fascist setup, man.
So yeah, we work for the companies, and we've bought all of your police departments. So they're literally, man, if you speak up, I will shoot you. Literally nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah, the cop's not going to get in trouble. Yeah, you got it on video. Yeah, I mean, remember that used to be the standard. It's just like, oh fuck, you got caught. We got a video of it, right? And then the hammer fell, and the guy was fucked. Cop or not. Now it's like you got a video of him choking somebody out, and it's like, oh well, okay, you got a video, but so what? That's the new standard. It's like, oh, okay, well, there's really no way to do anything now. Like, evidence don't matter.
That they repeat every time. I feared for my life. I thought he had a weapon. I feared for my life. I thought I had a weapon. I thought he had a weapon. You just have to say that, and you're good. That's it.
Yeah, that's the cop get out of jail free card. It's like it works every time.
And nobody ever. Well, how often are you like in fear of your life? Like anytime when you walk around, are teenagers walking away from you, do you fear for your life? Because it doesn't seem like a situation that you really feared for your life in. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, you're really that big a coward? I mean,
Eight of you choked a grandfather outside of a convenience store for selling loose cigarettes. You feared for your life. For your life. And even then, like, when did somebody taking a swing at you immediately be fear for your life?
Yeah, you think, oh man, there's got to be a lawyer out there somewhere. It's like, man, this is a slam dunk case, man. I mean, you guys, but it's like, where are the lawyers at? They don't,
Well, I mean, a lot of them can't. They all want to be the DA, right? Can't get to be the DA if you don't play ball. So play ball. It's another group of those people, lawyers and politicians. These are not honorable people. But no, for their hope, that's the sweet spot. Right, they can have a chance to be DA. They all take a turn at it, right? Assistant DA, get your little fingers in the places that you need to be. Set yourself up for your political run, possibly judge. You got to play ball to make that happen.
A long line of trial lawyers that'd be jumping on stuff like that. That was their chance. It's like, hey, this is the big case. If they can win this one, and it should be a slam dunk. They make their name. They wanted cases like that.
Oh yeah.
But now it's just like they got these guys so domesticated, so beaten down, where it's like, oh, I got to play ball or else what? You keep groveling around looking for some birdseed, from the big guys. Maybe, I mean, your little public pretender shit that ain't making you any money. What the fuck are you doing?
It doesn't exist. Look at the bogus case that we've had from protesters from like all of the oil pipelines. Completely and utter bogus charges. The entire thing. Look at Red Fawn. The entire story that they've tried to sell has been shown to be a complete and utter lie. They made it up, right? But you can't get somebody to defend her. No way. The $1 million New York lawyers. Where the fuck are you guys? You'll go out on a march and yeah, progressives, this and that and the other. I stand with the people. Bullshit. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you're right, man. I mean, it is bullshit. Because you know what? I can still remember that. Now, this goes like back into like maybe late August, September when I was there. There was like tables of lawyers at Standing Rock. They were going to protect you. You had all these people sign up and all this bullshit. Where the fuck are they, man?
No, they all took now each and every one of them on their little resume, all of their pictures, all says all of that shit. But yeah, as soon as stuff started getting a little bit heated, they took off.
Yeah,
it was just for themselves.
It was a photo op. That was it.
And speaking of like photo op, right? So just for people that go or that know about the protests that they've been having about the child prisons, right? The immigrant kid camps, concentration camps that they had going on. Now the first senator that went there, he was the real deal, right? He had like his assistant with him and a cell phone. Right, live stream the event. There was like 3 people there. Now the Democrats have jumped on board like they do every single other event, and it's a nonstop photo op. How can I get my face next to this event? It has nothing to do like Wiseman Schultz does not give a fuck about kids in cages, right? Every single one of those assholes knew about these programs, right? Not a fuck about it, but they sure show up for those photo ops like they care.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about how Obama did it and Bush did it before him. I mean, it's the same policy.
Well,
But now, I know, yeah, and I know they hate Trump. They got Trump derangement syndrome. But I mean,
hey, look, he signed the executive order to keep people from getting separated from their kids. I'm gonna down him for that. Like, there's been, look, I can't stand the asshole, right? But 3 weeks ago, we were supposed to be going to, 3 months ago, we were supposed to go to a World War III over North Korea. For what stupid ass reasons he went over there and talked, I could give a fuck. The deal is that we are much closer running it, right? We were like, when you took over, you were trying to get us all to go to war with North Korea. And that's not the case right now, right? When you took over, you were like, look, they were openly, why you have child internment camps, I don't really fucking know, but why didn't you sign that paper? Why weren't you up in arms about it? Why wasn't that your executive order? I'm not saying that he gets a high five for signing the executive order. That was like the least that you could possibly do in that kind of human crisis. Right, but why didn't you do it? And like, when it comes to the Obama thing, fuck Obamacare, we need to get rid of healthcare. Anything with Obama's name on it, we need to get rid of. But the internment camps, we need to keep those. What, it's like the only Obama policy that you guys love? Doesn't make any sense. And I don't trust all of these politicians. If you look, if they've been in the political game for more than 10 years, they knew about these prisons. They knew about the FEMA camps, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Remember when people were talking about Jade Helm taking over Walmarts and all of this stuff?
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that was a big joke, right? But converted. Whoa, thought that was a big joke, man. Whoa, what happened? Oh, they're FEMA too. Oh shit.
Yeah, like the whole Jade Helm thing, it was just like they pretty much got, the only thing they got wrong was the people they were putting in the cages.
Yeah, we didn't know they were going to be children.
Yeah, well, it's a multi-purpose scheme. I mean, if you know, I mean, they can switch that Walmart. I mean, you can handle the illegals one day, throw a few patriots in there next, go after some activists. I mean, it don't matter. It's cage, right? You can fill it with anything.
Yeah, and that's the deal. They don't really give a fuck. That's the thing with caging people for profit. They don't care who they put in that cage. It's whoever's popular now. Whichever group they won't say anything about. Oh, well, those are crazy 3%ers, right? Those are ranchers out somewhere that are given. There's always going to be a reason. Those are pipeline protesters, right? Those are immigrants. Whatever group you're not going to say anything about them putting into cages for profit, they'll put in there. But nobody, when they were and funding this shit, right? Every single one of them that sits on those House committees that funded this, the Senate, all of these guys knew about these internment camps. Why were you funding internment camps? After it becomes a social media issue, after the people on the bottom are upset about it, then you jump all over it. Oh, how could we possibly have child internment camps? You paid for them. You signed it off. It's in your fucking bill. You think Walmart gave away for free? No, that cost us millions and millions and millions of dollars. And you signed off for it. You knew about those internment camps. Why didn't you stand up about it? What's our buddy from Arizona? Come on, McCain, right? You were kept in Vietnam. We don't torture, blah, 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 blah. You sit on the committees that paid for internment camps in America, secret internment camps in America. Why did you do that? Why were you not, you're one of the most powerful Republicans out there. Why was your next step coming out on the House floor and speaking out against it? And that goes across the board. Democrats, when you guys paid for internment camps in America, and now you're upset about it. I'm not saying that you're outraged. We have to stop them right fucking now. But the fact is, you guys all paid for this. You guys all knew about them. This is not a surprise.
No. But I will hand it to to their propaganda. They're on message, man. They will not deviate and admit anything about doing it previously. It's all Trump's doing this. Trump, zero tolerance. Trump. I mean, they're on message, man.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, ever coming out and look, there's no denying that he didn't start this program, right? No denying. Look, he didn't start Guantanamo Bay, didn't start the war in Iraq, didn't start the war in North Korea, right? Didn't start didn't start the war in Syria or Yemen, right? But here we are. Right? So, I mean, it comes to this thing where there's so many people that are so fucking guilty of these insane crimes, but then they come out, like you said, on point, right? You'll never hear somebody on the left, besides us, right, come out and say, yeah, Obama did push through internment camps. It's not a lie. He did carpet bomb children with drones. He did kill innocent people for the profit, for the elite. He did buy off the banks with the American dollar and then left us to hang out to dry. He didn't legalize marijuana, and it turns out the only thing you have to do to legalize marijuana is be pissed off at Jeff Sessions. You know, the whole list that they give us, the list of reasons. Oh, you know, we got the laws and law enforcement and the war on drugs, and you know, we don't know what to do with the prison industrial complex and blah 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 blah. But in actuality, you could have done it with one signature because you were pissed off at somebody. That's how easy it is to change that law.
Oh, they can do it. Yeah, they can do whatever they want when they want. You know.
Yeah. But when you ask, oh no, that's impossible. We don't know how. Jesus, I don't know how we would do that. Can't figure out how to upgrade the American electrical system, but we can start a space force the next fucking day.
Yeah, we can't get Flint clean water, but we got a space force, man. Fuck it. You know, it's
how much will that cost? I don't care. Doesn't matter.
We need stormtroopers, man. I mean, we got everybody stormtrooper on the planet. We need to expand. I mean, yeah. and want an expansion, man. I mean, if you can get away with that one, it's like, oh, we're going to militarize space. Boy, you talk about a blank check, man.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. You know.
Nothing. I'm waiting for the space terrorists. It's coming, guys. Space ISIS.
Space ISIS. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, Space Force. That was one of the topics I had. That's becoming a real thing.
Who are you going to war with, my friend?
The intergalactic. Don't you remember Independence Day? We're supposed to go to war with the intergalactic and aliens, and that's how America got its independence. Doesn't everybody remember this story?
That's not a good deal. they're intergalactic aliens, and we're spaceful. Like living our
all a flying saucer that comes near us, they're going to blow away our space force so quick. I mean, what a waste of money. It's all going to get smoked so fast.
Watch. You're going to hear it. The Trump administration made a bad deal with the Greys, and they're coming back with a vengeance. Like, oh fuck, we need a space force. Oh fuck.
It's one of those things where it's the infinite expanse of space. I think they'll just go around. Like we're not hurting for real estate in any way, shape, or form. Every resource that you can possibly imagine. There's asteroids out there the size of our moon that are made of nothing but precious metals, right? There's no fight over resources. Who are you going to war with? If you come out and you're like, okay, this is mine. Okay, man, there's literally an infinite amount of it. It's space. Like
it's so ridiculous, man. I mean,
universe. Well, okay. There's as much as you want, man. It's like trying to take over the corner of the all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, this is mine. Okay, that's fine. That's all you can eat. You can really have.
I mean, this is in like the biggest way. I mean, you talk about jumping the shark. This is like it's just like you don't have warp drive. You don't have nothing that you need to get out there and do all this for your fucking space force, but you're gonna go out there and call for it right now when you don't even have any money. You got all this debt, and you're gonna build a space force. I mean, what the fuck, man?
bro,
you can't get Flint clean water, but
Trump was falling asleep watching Star Trek, and he's like, when those Romulans come, he's like, we're gonna need that space force. He's going to his general. He's like, yeah, man. Like we really need to declare ourselves, out there in space. We never know when these guys are going to come.
Are you sure
Yeah.
you and Seth aren't over there smoking weed? Because that really sounds like something you might come up with high. You know what we need?
Well, and they're running. They're running out of
like,
ideas too. It's like you couldn't come up with something better than that. I mean, that sounds like the military-industrial complex. Now we got the space complex. Oh, gee, where have I? God, how predictable.
Yeah, I can't see that coming out. And even then, like, we're gonna have to have a little bit, a better name. There's no doubt. Look, the intergalactic empire is gonna destroy us with a name like that.
Well, how they say the prison industrial complex is kind of like the breeding ground for what comes next, and I know that India is going to the moon. NASA has plans on going back to the moon. And I believe Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk want to go to Mars. So they're just like, we're going to be going to these 2 planets. We might as well just, militarize them as well,
Yeah, I'd love, that's just fucking great. Our first just contact with aliens, and you guys, they're going to fuck it up because you showed up with guns.
Yeah, is that the first thing on your mind? You can't go there, do a little geology, do some studies, try to see what's there first. It's like first thing that comes to your mind is like, we got to stick a plasma gun on our ship and start blowing shit away. I mean, come on. What the fuck, man?
Consider a high five, which may be the international sign of peace in human culture. That's what I would go with. It's just something that's not, like, I don't think that it's needed. I don't think that it's reality in any shape. Look, man, we can't even get to the fucking moon. Who do you want to go to war with? Like, if they've got any greater reach than the fucking moon, you're screwed. So, I mean, don't start fights with people that don't, or alien races that you don't need to start fights with. But I will say, I guess we know why Elon Musk was creating that flamethrower for the U.S. government. That makes sense now.
I thought it was for personal use. Like, you never know when you're going to need. You never know when you're going to need a flamethrower.
What's armed with?
Well, I mean, if there's ever a case for making a mental case, not just against Trump, but I mean this whole government. I mean, here it is. It's like, you guys are really serious about this. I mean, in your big planning war table discussion, this is the best shit you came up with, is to create a force against something that doesn't even exist.
For space dominance was the word. They're already using those nomenclatures.
I guess, hey, if you're into full spectrum dominance, right? I mean, it's like, hey, what the fuck, let's expand this. Now everything is the enemy. It's not just everything on Earth is part of Battlefield Earth. That's not enough.
Honestly, I think they're probably going to try to keep us from leaving.
Yeah, the second somebody comes up with warp technology, they're like, "Oh fuck!"
Going home. There is a planet on the other side of the universe that has 0 assholes and no fossil fuels companies. Fuck you, I'm out. This is a no-nonsense zone.
Want to take a one-way trip to Mars? What does that tell you? It's like 500,000 signed up for that now. I mean, they got people lining up for that trip, man.
Yeah,
because they want out of here.
Pretty well fucked this place if we don't get it together soon. I think certain people are like legitimately looking to get out of here. But I mean, look, space exploration, when I was talking about resources, that starts becoming a problem because our system works on there being a finite amount of resources for us to fight over. And once there isn't a finite amount of resources, and there isn't in the universe, we are inconceivably small. Right, whether it's energy, whether it's whether it's metal resources, right? We're not hurting for resources in the universe. Once we have the ability to get those resources, that causes some problems here on Earth.
Well, that's why they have to get there and control it, because it's just like here, they have to create some phony thing to manage. You know, that's what they do. I mean, because there really is no, there's plenty of more arable land. You could, cultivate it and all that, but they don't do that. That's not what they want.
No, they need us to be struggling over one piece of bread.
Fuck everything up and patent some bullshit so they can control it. It's all about control because they're control freaks, man.
There has to be a committee of bad ideas. That they're just, they get in there, they just throw some shit around and see what sticks. Mutual assured destruction. Yeah. That sounds.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, right?
That's no matter what happens, everybody dies.
Yeah, because if I'm going down, then you're going down too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, these people come up with the worst ideas. No, you would have to have been making those ideas on purpose. You couldn't have came up with that stupid shit. That can't be an accident.
I don't know. To me, that's this whole Space Force idea. That's as bad as Star Wars in the '80s. Because that was way ahead of its time too. It's just like, really, Reagan, fucking Star Wars. I mean, you've been watching too many movies. Yeah.
They fell asleep watching the movies and woke up. I think he might be right.
Yeah. So.
Like, Mr. Gorbachev, we need Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
So I have to listen to this bullshit about how Star Wars bankrupted the Russians. You know what? The Russians, they didn't even, that was like a big joke. It's like, Star Wars? Yeah. Hey, spend your way on into that one. Yeah, go ahead. Because it's going nowhere. I mean, it didn't go anywhere other than probably into somebody's pockets. You didn't see anything come out of all those hundreds of billions of dollars.
No, that we know about. I mean, they could have actually put nukes up in satellites. I wouldn't have surprised me. That's pretty easy to do.
It's one of those things where like, no, okay, I haven't personally seen the nukes on our military satellites. There are totally nukes on our military satellites. What have we not connected a nuke up to? We got nukes on the ocean, nukes on the land, nukes underground, nukes flying around the world 24/7, nukes on coal launchers, right? What would be in a item that we haven't put nuclear weapons on?
A rocket. We could do that.
Yeah, I guarantee we have weapons in space. I mean, it would be literally be the only place we don't have weapons pointed at our friends and enemies and ourselves or whatever we point our nuclear weapons at.
Well, we got them titanium rods, them 30-foot titanium rod things. I mean,
Yeah, what is that called? Thor's hammer? What's the name of that system?
Something like that. They're like big. They're made out of tungsten. There's the tungsten. Yeah.
Yeah, who needs a nuke when you have shit like that? But hey, throw a nuke on it. What the hell? It's all about overkill, isn't it? I mean, we want to make sure whoever we're hitting's dead.
Yeah, Moab. Just keep making a bigger bomb. Just keep, doesn't matter. Just keep making them bigger. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Blow up a city with this. Well, okay, I guess, man, but to be honest, I'm sure that most of the people in that city are not enemy combatants. So that's not exactly helpful.
Oh, man.
Like, nobody ever answers, we can blow up an entire city. Well, I mean, people live in that city. It's a city that seems like you're blowing up people's houses.
Yeah, I mean, all these bombs have kind of gotten like hammers. It's like, the joke is like, if you don't have a small hammer, get a big. But then that's telling. That's telling of how you, the hammer mechanic, think. Because all you know how to use is a fucking hammer. Same with these guys. It's like you got a bomb, and then so everything needs to be blown up, So we need more bombs.
Well, I think because look, they do get the most brilliant minds humanly possible. I think we've hit a plateau. Like, we really have, where it doesn't matter what technology that you come up with, their answer, well, how do we kill more people with it? It just makes food, man. Can't really but what are the tactical advantages of having the water machine? Nah, just makes clean water for people to use. That's you know, so I mean, there comes a certain point when there is only so many ways to kill each other, and I think we may have hit that. We can do it with viruses. We can do it with animals. We can do it with bombs. We can do it with drones. We can do it with little personal rockets. We can do it with nuclear bombs. We can do it with a fucking rock. We can do it with machine guns. We can do it with phosphorus. We can do it in every single way you can really kill. Only 1,000 ways to die, man.
Speaking of those tungsten
Like that,
rods, why the fuck did they use that Moab when they could have used that space fucking Thor's hammer shit?
Because I think that the expense really, like, it cost a lot to put stuff in space, but it cost a little bit less, but you can make a lot more.
That thing cost like $50 million. As a $50 million bomb.
In the long run, it cost you more, but in the short run, I'll make much more profit for making these than I will for making the satellite.
Yeah.
I mean, the point is that I make 5 of these, you drop these Moabs, and then, well, you got to buy 5 more, right? 10 more.
Well, yeah, you got to rotate stock, man. I mean, they're going to go bad on this shelf if you just leave them there too long.
Oh, shit.
Everything has a shelf life, yeah.
When we were in Iraq, we literally had to dump munitions because we had stored up so many munitions from World War II and Vietnam that they were going bad. Didn't even matter if they explode, just dump them. Right? So you have, like, you'll see pictures and they'll have these like 500-600, 100-pound bombs that are just sitting in someone's houses because, well, they're from World War II. It didn't explode. Nothing in it works, but just drop it off the plane. Just get fucking rid of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it counts as a bomb sold. I mean, they don't care if it goes off or not.
Oh, yeah, that's going to everyone that's dropped them. What, we drop 300 a day minimum on, like, a good day. So on a day where nothing has happened, we drop 300 a day. And that doesn't count munitions that we've sold to other countries. So that counts the 300 we drop, not the 300 that Saudi Arabia will drop on Yemen. We sold them those. Right? It's our equipment. We're supporting it, but we only count that 300 of the ones that we actually kill. And it's not like you see on the news 300 terrorists killed a day. Right? 300 ISIS members killed a day. You guys seen that in the news? Because it doesn't exist. But yet we're dropping 300 bombs on fucking somebody.
Yeah, they're either not as good as we say they are, and we're missing a lot, or we're blowing away a lot more people than they're admitting to.
Oh, we're probably away a lot more people. And the plan is, look, eventually we run out of terrorists. And if there's one sure way to keep a terrorist factory going, it's to blow up people's families. You know, if you think of the small town that you live in, even one bomb went off and killed little Susie, right? It would be the battle cry for the next 150 years. You know, a little girl that was walking back and forth to school, that a bomb went off and killed her, right? If that happened in America, right, we would never, ever forget it. You would immediately have, a huge amount of just the population of young men in that town join the military to avenge her death. And you don't expect the same thing to happen over there? There's a reason why we drop 300 bombs and don't kill 300 terrorists. Our point is to make terrorists.
They've done a good job.
Oh, yeah, we are super good at it. So, like, we can rile people up, and then afterward, we just sell them shitloads of weapons and see how it turns out.
Yeah, now they're telling you, and I mean, this is like the dumbest shit that there is, telling you there's going to be we need to do this for 100 years. I mean, war is bad long term. War is something you do very quick, get it over with, so it doesn't hurt you economically long term. These motherfuckers, they want to keep this going. You can tell it's a corporate deal because they just want to keep it going. The strategy don't make any sense. You got no winning plan that I can see anywhere.
By the time you get to, when you plan these things for 100 years, there's a reason out of that. That's where North Korea is a great example of that. Because if you can keep going to war with somebody for long enough, the people that started the war, right, they don't even remember why they're at war anymore. Why we went to war with North Korea is not why we're at war with them now. The people that started that war are dead and gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're gone, man.
It changed, right? Why we're at war with them, if 100 years, why you're at a war with them 100 years from now will not be the reason that you went to war with them now. And that's when you see things that have gone on, 60 years. We're working on 100 years in North Korea, right? In our lifetimes, it'd be 100 years, and you've literally forgotten the 9 different stages that we've had an excuse to stay at war with North Korea. They're communists. They're working with the Russians, right? They're terrorists, even though they've never actually attacked anyone, which I thought was the number one thing you had to do to be a terrorist.
Yeah, they threaten to bomb everybody, but they don't do it.
He's a dictator. He's a dictator. We'll go through every 20 years or so. We need a new reason why you need to be scared of X, whatever group that is. Oh, no, it's not the Mujahideen. It's Al Qaeda. Oh, no, it's not Al Qaeda. It's ISIS. Oh, look, it's been about 20 years. What's the next guy going to be? Space ISIS.
I guess they were looking at that live leak with the ISIS space program where they accidentally blew up that car bomb and it launched it 200 feet into the sky. I think maybe that's what they got confused with.
Here's how you get it started. You launch some ISIS guys in a rocket and just get them up there circling. I mean, so now you have to do something about that, right? We got these guys up there. We don't know what they're doing. And it doesn't matter.
They're planning on doing a kamikaze on the re-entry.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going too far. But I mean, let's face it, they're in space. They're really not going to go that far. They're contained inside the capsule. But that doesn't matter. There's something going on that we need to control, and we got to go get them.
Wait, look, do you want these space ISIS to come and take your space freedom? That's what
they're out there. We don't know what they're doing or what their intentions are. This is serious.
Well, here's a
national security. National security.
Yeah, would you be able to ask the CIA people that trained the ISIS Space Force? Would you be able to ask them what they're doing up there? I have a feeling they may know.
He's the guy in the background, the handler that you can't quite focus on him. It's that shady character in the background.
Always.
Do I still have that video? Hold on, I gotta play that video for a second. Media source. Let me play this. I have to.
Launching themselves into space.
But that's the kind of weak ass, excuse that they're going to come up with. It's like ISIS launched a rocket. Oh fuck, we didn't know they could do that. Where did they get the technology to launch these guys into space?
Well, I imagine that people to Mars.
I got it.
And they're going to need some sort of. This is going to happen.
Space Force. 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 Space is a war-fighting domain, just like the land, the air, and sea. We have the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Space Force. My new national strategy could be Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force. We're doing a tremendous amount of work in space. I said maybe we need a new force. We'll call it the Space Force. And I was not really serious. And then I said, what a great idea. Tremendous. Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, Space Force, And use hairspray, because hairspray is going to affect the ozone. I say
Yeah, it's just the moon. There's nobody there to protect it or claim it as their own. So it's a perfect dream, man. You just show up and claim it, find it. Fuck, man. Who's going to tell you no?
Have a great day and a great life. Remember, you can get behind the scenes and other goodies at Patreon.
Hamburger prices. Can't people say anything? Hamburger prices.
Because let's face it, if they can cram an oil pipeline up your ass on Earth,
oh, they would.
Yeah, what's to stop them up there? I mean, it's like
run out of reservations to run them through.
Yeah, I mean, if they fucked up and actually blew up the moon into 3 or 4 pieces, so what? You know.
Separate across the reservation. 2 separate ones. Not one was enough, but literally like running them through your grandmother's living room.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do it just to piss you off. I mean, get you all wound up.
Well, I mean, you don't care, right? You don't mind there being a poisonous oil pipeline in your backyard.
Yeah. So if you screw up the moon, so what? Right? It's all about Bear making money on the moon. They found some shit up there.
How long will it take till somebody puts a logo on the top on the moon? How long? McDonald's, maybe? Okay, wait, guys. Okay, I'll take that back. I don't normally talk shit about McDonald's, but McDonald's in Ireland is switching completely from like plastic straws and plastic utensils and going back to a paper-ish system, a recyclable system. So I'm going to give them a high five for that. But I still don't want to see the golden arches on the moon.
Well, actually, you will see soon is since India is going back to the moon, they're also setting up a cellular network that will be available in space. So
I think we may have to jump in here.
Oh wow!
If it works anything like colonization and the rest of the what happened on Earth, I'm just gonna put it out there. Look, guys, I own the space and I own moon, and I own the moon. Y'all are gonna have to fuck off. It's mine.
You know damn well they're gonna carve corporate logos into the moon. I mean, what better banner is there? It always shines the same way. I mean, if you carved a big Bear logo or a fucking McDonald's, some shit up there, it's like the best advertising you could ever get, man.
Oh, we could put like the stock market up on the front and just have like a running ticker.
You know damn well they're going to carve corporate logos into the moon. I mean, what better banner is there? It always shines the same way. I mean, if you carved a big Bear.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Sony, oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to look like a NASCAR race. You know, it's
like everything else to the highest bidder is how that works.
Like billboards. Yeah, it's just
not whether it's yours or not.
Plastered up there. It's just the moon, you know. Fuck it, man. Because we're going to the planets. You know, if we trash the moon, so what?
Oh God, like we're the bad guy universe. That's the like like the orcs, like the aliens that go from planet to planet, like fucking everything up, like using all the resources and making it poisonous. That's totally us. That's us. We're the bad guys.
Yeah, we're just consumers. You know, you're like a ever spreading cancer. You just consume resources and trash everything, and then you move on. You're like a gypsy. You know.
I wonder if the other aliens make like media, make like movies, and we're the bad guys in movies.
They're like it's fucking humans. Look what they're doing. They're shitting and doing drugs and doing crazy shit and.
It's like being a dog and shitting in your own doghouse, man. It's like
no, dogs don't shit in their own doghouse. They're smart enough not to do that.
Yeah, typically, you don't see that. It's just.
What am I supposed to shit all over the floor like an animal? No, animals do it in the corner. Why are you shitting all over the place?
Yeah, they don't shit on their dog bowl, do they? I mean, their food, right? I mean, it's like,
No, that we save that for Flint. Like we're the only animals that do that. Even when there's a wildfire, right, in Africa, right, all of the animals run together. You know, they don't immediately start tripping and fucking each other like we do. Right, so yeah, like every single animal you can imagine, from little mice all the way up to the lions, right? They're all booking it in the sun. Let's go, brother. They'll stop and help an animal that they would normally eat, right? We got to get the fuck out of here. Place is on fire. We got to work together, right? But humans, right? No, this is mine. I will.
like
You know how bad of a situation it is. I will refuse to work together with you.
yeah, we're gonna refuse to work. We're gonna play partisan politics and just keep your water fucked up and it's contaminated. Yeah, you know, but so what?
We'll do the same thing on Mars. Fuck it.
Global.
You're thinking, why would the thinking change?
Anything out, like we will nuke the entire world over a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Like that would be my very next question would be like, oh my god, who put you in charge? That is the worst idea I have ever fucking heard. Look, the only point of fighting a war is knowing that we're going to win. Knowing that everybody on the planet is going to die, well then I don't want to fight in that war. They've won. That's stupid. Well, no, what you don't understand is if they launch a nuke at us, then we kill everyone, including ourselves.
Yeah, that's mutually assured destruction. That was kind of like, I think that's kind of a point that, several people, throughout the nuclear age, several leaders have said the same thing, that maybe this nuke thing is not a great idea,
Especially not how you assholes are trying to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they fuck everything up. I mean,
it's like how about this? If two countries want to go at it with nukes, what we do is we get the two leaders, okay, and they have to fight to the death in the ring. That's an easier way of dealing with the problem.
No, anybody that comes out and says that they want to end the world with the nukes, I immediately get to take your button. Nobody that wants to destroy the planet with a nuclear apocalypse gets to have a nuclear apocalypse button. That's just stupid. Well, I'll destroy the world in Cos 913. Okay, thank you very much. Give me that. You are not allowed the football. We need to put it with somebody sane. But no, I think their plan is to live underground in some. This is the kind of bad planning that you have.
Man.
Our Senate and House, right, are 98% men over the age of 60. And your idea to repopulate the planet is to lock these 98% men in a mountain with no women. How do you expect this to work? Well, we can stay in there for 200 years, yes, but you don't understand, right? The entire Senate is all male, you see. And you guys can't make them to babies is how that works. So, good job on destroying the world, and I live your extra 30 years. You helped us at all.
I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of mistresses down there and hoes, if you know what I mean. I mean, not the kind of planting tools either,
If that's not a nightmare. You think that those hookers would just be like, fuck, I should have stayed out in the zombie apocalypse. In here with these guys. This was a horrible, horrible idea. It looks like the Road Warriors are having a blast.
There's going to be a lot of hoes and little kids down there.
Well,
you think these sick fucks are going to change?
You're so right. No, they wouldn't even. It's just going to be a bunch
of. They're going to go nuts. It's going to get even worse.
Like even worse. I can almost have a respect if you would repopulate it. Like, look, for every one of us, we got one of every flavor for you. We're importing them for the end of the world. It's going to be a blast. No, they probably just import 13-year-old boys. That seems to be our government's go-to.
Sorry, I got a weird visual there for a second.
Calling child molesters because you guys are constant. Like, you could always stop doing that. In fact, I'd really dig it if you would. Why are you always hard on the church for molesting little boys? Because you're molesting little boys. Quit molesting children, and I won't say that.
Yeah, quit bashing the church, man.
Yeah, that's like our thing. We take your money and molest little boys. Woo! Organized religion.
Basically. I always assumed it was like, when people, when they want to join Roman Catholicism, I knew a guy, that he wasn't doing the Roman Catholic, but he was with one of those denominations where you had to be celibate, and all of I swear to God, it's like an atypical trait. They got some sort of fucking sexual problem, right? So I'm meeting with this one guy, right? And we're at some fucking 12, it wasn't like AA, but it was like some sort of fucking 12-step recovery thing. And I go, what are you here for? He's like, you don't want to know. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I'm addicted to pornography. I'm like, oh fuck, there's always something wrong with these people,
And this was a priest?
There's a priest in training.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain, okay, you guys have tried, and this wasn't like a long-running thing. You used to be able to be married. This isn't like it is a long-running thing, but it isn't like an unbreakable rule. Being the high rate of, weirdness and molestation and whatever, maybe y'all should consider just getting wives again.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I realize you're saying the whole celibate thing, but when you say celibate, you just mean you're kitty fiddling, and those aren't the same thing. Fucking children is not being celibate.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you realize that. Maybe we've got a different definition of the word, but celibate means no sex, just not sex with little boys, which is what you're doing.
Have sex with the sisters or something. So
Can you not just have sex with the nuns like a fucking normal person?
They don't like women, man. They're not going to mess with the nuns. Well, a certain number of them will, but not many.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys have a lot in common.
Yeah, you guys both God. You guys dedicated.
Maybe a priest nun like dating service, something like that.
Oh God.
Well, they could if they wanted to. I mean, it's not like.
Well, no, that's the deal.
Adults,
that rule specifically, it was changed. You used to be able, you know what I mean, and I'm talking 1,000 years ago. But you used to be able to be a priest and have a family, right? And that would be weird. How are you going to counsel people about having a family?
Yeah, rabbis are allowed to have. Yeah, rabbis are allowed to have families. Why not a priest? Fuck.
Well, they say.
Yeah, so I'm just not in the things. It seems like it's causing a lot of.
But... Well, they've got DSB real bad. I mean, the guys do, the gals. Not sure what you call it, but.
I lost all of that.
Oh, you did?
Uh-oh.
Terrence?
I lost all of that.
Oh, no, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Hold on, let me message you.
Well, see,
hello?
You can't talk bad about the Catholic Church. You stepped over the line again.
Yeah, so I guess it... Wow. Yeah, I
tell them you're sorry,
guys.
What?
Yeah, tell them you're sorry, and they'll give you access.
Yeah, I guess everybody we talked to today irritated me the most.
Terrence, I can hear you. You can't hear me though.
Whoa.
Wow.
I see Terrence and Tyler dropping out of the call at the same time, man. That was wild.
Can you guys actually...
Yeah, I can
shit, he's on the screen now.
Yeah.
No. all of my stuff is off. So I don't know what's going on here. My Hi everybody. So yeah, that just happened. So yeah, I can't turn off my my video here. This is what I like on my picture too, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. I guess they wanted to show. Are they doing? Maybe it's a facial recognition thing. Are you guys using the facial recognition software against this? Hold on.
Oh, did you guys? Did I ever mention that Microsoft has been selling that shit to ICE?
Well, and I know the mass shooting that happened earlier today. They identified him with facial recognition software.
What was his name? What did they figure out his name yet?
I haven't heard it. No.
Oh.
Well, hell, they ought to be able to. I mean, they got all these programs that say they can 98% this. And so.
I remember they were, God, what was it? Trapwire was the big thing, and that was like in 2012 when we had Well, I don't know if you guys are participating in this Operation Smash a Can. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Familiar, yeah.
All right, yeah, I don't know. There's
casinos have had it for a long time, man.
I don't know if I'm being hacked at the moment. I'm gonna go and check some things out, but yeah, my camera is stuck in on, only in here, but for some reason.
The FBI's just getting a good picture of you.
They've got
they just took control of your shit. Yeah. They took control of your phone, and now you're fucked.
I got up every morning when they started with the helicopter surveillance and flicked them off. They should have thousands of pictures of me. Every morning, bright and early, big smile on my face, middle finger in the air. I'll see you guys at Enbridge. To all our Tiger Swan fans, I will see you at line 3. It's going to be fun.
Your Tiger Swan fan club.
Speaking of camera on, Microsoft is seeking, Facebook is seeking patents on a little bit of code that will remotely turn on your microphone on your mobile device. This is a real thing. I'm not saying that they isn't already in the Facebook software, but yeah, they're literally filing a patent on it.
Well, I think what they're telling you is that they've perfected it now, and we're going to patent it. That tells you they're using it, but they've already got it developed. Not like they're breaking the ice there, like we didn't know what was going on.
Terrence?
Like that's some big thing now. It's just like, that might have been a big deal like in 1985, but in today's world, it's like you just now figured out how to do this with all this friggin' technology.
Yeah, I don't.
Programmers and shit.
I definitely don't.
Yeah, come on, man.
What else were you?
Oh, Terrence, you there?
How come his voice breaks up, but his video doesn't? I don't get that.
Yeah, it's like there's like a delay.
And there really shouldn't be, guys. I'm as close as I've been in the last year.
Oh yeah, it's working now. It's in sync now. That's weird.
Huh.
That's me looking unhappy there.
I mean, if they want a picture, they should shut off the video because that picture you use
have to stay at it. So I'm.
Your
all right, I'm gonna say
ISIS, a better picture than
ISIS
this fucking
bomb,
video. I mean,
terrorist, 9/11, gun, marijuana. Okay, now now we should be alerted by the CIA. Those are the keywords, right?
Insult Trump. You have to insult Trump now too.
Yeah, someone has managed to turn on my my camera and I can't turn it back off. In fact, like on my screen, it shows it being X'd out. And you guys can obviously see me. I can't see myself in the little box, but my light's on, so I know
AT in there somewhere, man.
Well, remember what we learned from Vault 7 is that the CIA was really investing with chipset manufacturers to have these on and off codes when they wanted to turn things on and off. I'm not saying that that's happening. It could be a faulty hardware slash software, but they do have these capabilities.
I don't understand why they have to be so like secretive with it. I mean, they could just come and ask me and I'd tell them. Like, we talk about it all the time. It's with the whole like secret agent shit. Just look at my page. It's pretty fucking obvious. It was like having, and it's like you're like having infiltrators at line 3 or Standing Rock. Why would you need to infiltrate? We literally have what we're doing written on the side of the fucking fence. Like,
yeah, I mean, you guys are open. You don't give it. You guys don't give what we're gonna do. You don't even hide it.
So I mean, I don't understand what they're trying to be so like covert about. Why? Just let us live stream. I'll tell you anything you want to fucking know.
Well, because in the land of make believe, you have to make shit up. It's all a big lie.
I think that's it. Is they've got to record this and then cut it up so that they can find the best way to like discredit you or shoot you or whatever they do. Make it look like an accident. Is there anything you think might be accident prone in the room, maybe? Huh? Someone might fall over? Maybe feeling a little suicidal? Huh? I got a garage. I know that's you guys' favorite spot. Not exactly sure what method car accident? Huh? Maybe on the way out of the ATM. I know you guys like hitting people up at the ATM.
Or toxic sewer gas in a motel with a prostitute. That's a common one.
Oh man, yeah, that's
what a way to go. That poor prostitute. I mean, she didn't even have anything. Don't eat at Russian restaurants in the UK. Num 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 num. Y'all aren't gonna poison me, are you? Come on, dick move. Dick move.
What did we? Oh, speaking of spooky services, remember the AT&T building in New York City that was floating around, the fucking creepy one? Well, it turns out that was actually an NSA spy hub in conjunction working with AT&T. So all of the thoughts, all of the articles that have been posted for the last year on the AT&T building in New York City were actually true.
Well, there's something up with a building with no windows. It's got an AT&T logo over the door, but nobody comes in and out of the door. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, right? That just ain't right.
The secret torture facility in Chicago that the police use, and I mean, it's pretty blatant, right? Big building, no windows, nobody. People come in, people don't come back out.
Home and Square.
There's places like that. I mean, everywhere, and they're probably not doing anything good in it.
Oh yeah, like the data center in Utah. Yeah, the one that's just a storage facility, but it's actually an NSA. It's actually an NSA data center where it's just like it's like a building in the middle of fucks nowhere that's just monitoring like all the communications in the United States and possibly the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, just as a control freak, I mean, you have to record it all just because you don't know.
And I mean, there's some other like really weird locations. They've got weird and research facilities like all over the U.S.
Yeah.
And they do a whole bunch of different things like weapon election centers, weapon research, Some of it, who knows what they're researching in it. The one in Missouri is a really interesting one, because it is kind of hard to figure out what exactly they're doing there. There's caves that they've turned into a big giant underground facility. And then a couple of miles away, there's this house that it looks like a normal house. They've spent hundreds of billions of dollars to build it and make it look like a normal house. But then there's an entire facility of some sort underneath it. It's weird. But what they're doing there, I don't know. But look, most of the time you need a secret underground facility. It's for nothing good.
It's like happening. That's like happening in New Mexico.
For a secret underground facility, you only really either you're a supervillain or in politics are really those things. Are you a supervillain? I'd much rather work with the politician.
You mean you don't want sharks with laser beams on their heads?
Well, I mean, no, I mean he's right.
It would be completely legitimate.
Yeah, I mean, criminals and underworld characters seem to have more, what do you call it? More integrity and a little more honor than government people.
Yeah. At least I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, he's not some smooth talking shark that's lying to you and telling you how much he's going to do for you as he stabs you in the back. At least it's a code of thieves. It's not a code of complete assholes. They don't stand for anything. There's a little bit of a difference there.
With a code of thieves, right? They'll at least hold the line with each other. These guys will throw each other under the bus in a heartbeat. Oh, you're no good for the election or whatever we're trying to spin right now. You're on your fucking own.
With you.
I never even, and they'll come out and like that guy. I knew from the beginning he was bad news. Like, you should see how quick these guys turn on each other. You've been serving in the Senate with a guy for 50 years, and you're just now coming out and telling us you don't like him? I don't believe it.
What was up with that? What happened? I heard it all over the news. What was it? Supreme Court justice? He was retiring, and they're saying this is a win for Trump. What the fuck was that all about?
It's to appoint the next Supreme Court justice, and he's going to. Let's be honest. Have anybody? He's down to the last. It's Sessions and the vice president, right? It's the only people left in his cabinet. Trump is not good at picking people for position. I can only imagine how horrible of a pick this is going to be for Supreme Court.
Yeah, I'm not really. I'm not seeing where. If you're a Republican, I wouldn't be holding my breath because this guy is out there. He could do anything. It's going to be a shock. I can assure you. But
if he would put in, that's the deal. I doubt that he would put in actual conservative in any way, shape, or form, because that doesn't really fit with what they would like to do, right? They need someone that fights for the corporations. When you start getting into actual conservative, well, then they don't want to spend money. They don't want to rule against things that go against us constitutionally. Right, so I mean, they'll definitely stay away from full conservatives. We're gonna get another corporate puppet to finish the job.
Yeah, you're gonna get a guy like Roberts who will flip flop for you for the corporation. I mean, you've got it pegged, man. That's what they want.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, why is the Supreme Court thing permanent all of a sudden? Once it no longer works.
Oh, you know what I heard? You know what I heard might be in question now that he lost his position. The Roe versus Wade argument might actually be something that might come in question real soon. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That was one thing that I was like, yeah, I could see him getting some fanatic in there, some religious fanatic, and switching all that shit around.
Slowly but surely, just going backwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming apparent. I mean, the more I hear the news and the more I hear stuff from the Trump administration, it's like Like, I was never a big fan of politics or anybody, but it's more I just get disgusted. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? Like what the fuck? Like, are they just retarded? Like,
normally you have like another side, and there's no other side anymore. You know, it's all like, God, Trump is a complete and utter fucking moron. I mean, in every sense of the way, a rich moron, but a complete and utter moron. But there is nobody else on the other side that isn't as moronic. No doubt.
I mean, it's like the whole administration is just like filled with fucking clowns and retards. We have like Jeff Sessions, the troll, that wants to go like on a war on drugs. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, if you guys don't know, if our listeners don't know, the SISTA Act went through. It has to go through the Senate. But if the SISTA Act goes through, you might see your creatine and your supplements. That might be regulated by the FDA. And anything that is not scheduled by the DEA can now be classified under a new classification called Schedule A. You can thank Jeff Sessions for that. So
I ain't
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, this is like some bass axe word shit. And and everybody in the news that's talking about this new CBD oil medication being a good thing. Yeah, it's good in the sense that now they can prescribe it in states where marijuana isn't legal and shit. But even though CBD is legal nationwide, this is what they're going to do is just put people in the medical marijuana industry and the CBD oil industry. They're going to put them out of business and big pharma in control. So what it's literally turning into is they want the conglomerate corporations and the government dictating what you can and can't do, you know?
100%. And they're going to sell you their GMO shit, their GMO weed, you know?
I've known it. You guys have known it. Our audience knows it, that CBD is a great anti-seizure medication. You can fucking drink you could drink a whole bottle of it and nothing will happen to you. The only thing it might make you sleepy, it might take your pain away, and it will definitely take your kid's child onset perimal and grand mal seizures away, up to like 80, maybe even total reversal. But no, Big Pharma has to come in, and now we're going to change the legislation, even though they made the emergency scheduling from a non-scheduled narcotic. In December, they made it a Schedule 1, even though it does have medical purpose. They did all this for fucking Big Pharma, you know?
Well, look, they've got to find a way to get it to have some side effects, right? Right now, you only need to take, and it does away with medication. They need a medication that makes you sick enough that you need other stuff. You know, like medical marijuana, CBD oil is a nightmare for these companies. When it's like, look, we need to take this migraine, a medication that causes seizures. Just smoke a joint.
Yeah, and now that there are literally the medical marijuana industry, even the states that have gone recreational, is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and and the marijuana industry, as I know a few people have, there is a legal way that they've been getting around the whole CBD ban, is they're they're using seeds and stems. They're from the hemp plant, which only has 3% THC, which is the only legal way of getting around it, and they still produce 99.9% lab grade. They produce lab grade, USP, which would pass in the United States Pharmacopoeia grade for CBD oil. Now, why do they need to make it so that it's going to have to be a prescription? So that it'll put people like mom and pop's fucking, people that are a plant that we can grow in our backyard. They're literally putting in the hands of Big Pharma. You see
and the AMA. They have to create a fake system. You can't have what you have now, which is a product that actually does some good for you, and it's unregulated. Can't have that. That'd be for the people. We have to rig it in this fake system.
Well,
that we control.
I gotta hand it to Big Pharma. Fake. I mean, their biggest flaw is that, and I know this from knowing people in the industry, is that growing high content, what they're using, high content marijuana that is high in CBD. Good luck on Big Pharma getting their hands on a large amount of seeds without fighting tooth and nail from the people that have a majority of those plants growing already. You're going to have a hard time producing it. They're probably going to have to manufacture make it synthetically, you know.
Oh, I'm sure they will. It's only a matter of time till we have synthetic CBD oil.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah, because Charlotte's Web was the breed that was grown out of Colorado that had minimal amount. Well, it didn't have minimal amount. It was about as low as they could get it with like 40% CBD, you know. Oh, we lost Terrence.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, see, is that his 3-hour mark? Well, there we go. See, fuck, man. It's like clockwork.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, he's back. I see him.
No. I don't even see you on the screen anymore.
I'm here. You can hear me.
Yeah. But I don't see your icon at the bottom. I see you in the middle, but I don't see you at the bottom.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of gray.
Nah, it's all. See, this is a perfect, this weed thing, CBD is a perfect example of how you take something natural and people exchanging it naturally and turn it into some fascist configuration with this fake construct, you know, to get it into a fascist setup. This is what they do. It's the government and this corporation working together against you. That's it.
I mean, I understand how they were going about it because there are literally. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, they make it assume I would say that there is propaganda videos saying that there are places in the United States where you cannot get legals, you cannot get CBD, but the companies that are out there producing the CBD oil have gone around the federal loophole, you know, and there really is no need for a prescription for when you can literally get it for. Dude, you can literally get that product for like, God, you can get like what 2,000 milligrams for like what $40-$50. You know, I mean, yeah, there is some.
Well, it's over the counter. It's already over the counter. So you know, this idea that you're telling me, oh, I got to go to a doctor now and pay him to get this prescription. It really, I mean, you know. Who's going to do that shit when all you have to do is go down to the end of the street and buy it from a true artisan grower to get the original shit? You know, I mean, you think all that's just going to go away? All these people are going to go away? You know, it's going to be a massive black market, man.
And CBD oil is known to shrink tumors and cancer. You know.
I mean, this is just the fucked up way these people think. You take something that's already there and working great, everybody's happy. It's like I mean, this is like, you know, what do you call that? A free enterprise, free market as it gets. And nope, can't have that. We got to fuck it up for our corporate buddies. We got to create this bogus system for you, man. And then, we're benevolent. We'll give it to you, right? I mean, it's just like, shut up, man. Get out of here. People are out of your mind.
There's somebody saying, Kylie Irons is saying, okay, what about the autistic children that need it? You're telling me that it is fake. No, the CBD oil is real. Just the lab grade. Lab grade is, it's not fake saying synthetic will come out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that freelance growers have been making the dominant strains for CBD. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to interrupt somebody. That was somebody that was commenting.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure where they were going with that.
You know, it was a really weird drug that happened too. Remember gamma hydroxybutyrate, GHB, that was available.
Yeah.
That was available from. Remember back in the early '90s, you used to be able to buy it at supplement stores, specifically GNC, and then it went on the market. Then the rave scene came in, and then they said GHB has no medical purpose. But then, you know, we leave it to Big Pharma, and you know, even though weightlifters were using it for real purposes, okay, so now they, you know, come around 10 years later, they found a way to make it into a solution. They call it sodium oxyorbate, and now gamma hydroxybutyrate is no longer a Schedule 1 medication. In fact, it does have medical purpose. This is how stupid the fucking regulation is that they don't know from X from Y to Z. They will label something that is something that has no medical purposes when it does. They will find out later on, and they, you know, because they got their ass up there. It has medical purposes.
It's rigged, man. It's you know, they know it has medical purposes, but in order to rig it, you have to say these things and make it this way, you know, in order to satisfy your corporate buddies. That's all this is about. I mean, this revolving door of pharma and government and all this. I mean, if it isn't obvious by now, it should be. It's like you're not part of the picture. See, you the patient, you the voter, you the citizen, you're just not part of this picture. This is between the government and the corporation and what we're going to pump and push to you. You don't have any say in it.
Yeah, I mean,
create this fakes. It's fake. You have to, in order to replace the existing real system that's already there.
You know, if you think about it, you know, as an average, you know, as a person, you know, who, okay, as an American, right? How many, when you go to the pharmacy, okay, without a prescription, how many different medications do you really have access to? It's very limited, you know.
Yeah, I mean the over-the-counter stuff, but
it's so limited.
You don't need a prescription for that, but yeah, if you don't have a prescription, well, you just don't get access. That's the whole thing. It's to get control over it. It's all about access. Right?
Yeah.
It's all about, you know, control and who gets to have it and who doesn't and who's making the money, blah blah blah. That's the concern. It's not about you or the medicine or any of that shit. It's about how they can make money off, you know. But in this instance, it's not. You know, it'd be one thing if they have to do the research and create some chemical and go through tests and all that testing. That's one thing. But these clowns are coming in. I mean, you have an existing product that works great that they have to demonize so that they can get control of it and spit it out the way. I mean, if that doesn't complete the picture of what's actually going on, I don't know what does. So that they can sell you some high price shit, and the doctor can make, you know, you gotta go get a doctor's prescription and pay that stupid motherfucker to tell me, you know, give me some script.
You know what?
Fuck out of here, man.
You know what? If you could buy, if let's just say, like when you go to what is those clinics where you get the cold and flu doctor, I always call them. It's the clinics. Yeah, the clinics. You know, the ones where they're only open, the after hours clinics and shit like that. If regulation changed to the point where you could get basic anticoagulants and antibiotics, right? You would literally put them out of business. You know, if you could get those over the counter, you know, which makes absolutely no sense to me. why, I've been saying this for years, is that there is no real reason for the FDA and including, I'll go out there, is that, if the American justice system wants to win the war on drugs, the only way that they'll win is to have it legalized, all of it.
Yeah, but but in that same thinking, they have to have this fake system.
Yeah.
They have to demonize the drugs. They have to come after you. There has to be a bad guy that we go after and string up and throw them in jail and the whole 9 yards, man. I mean, these people are sick.
Yeah.
This is the shit they come up with. So fucked.
I know doctors that people who work in the psychiatry field, that deal with addicts and alcoholics. Oh, there he is, Terrence. Oh,
no, well, trying.
There he is, Terrence.
Oh, now you're back too. Well,
I can turn my mic back off.
Oh yeah, now I can hear you. Sort of.
The lag.
It's a little bit of a lag, yeah.
It was right at that 3-hour mark against Terrence.
Okay.
I'm wondering if there's some sort
of a live stream where I can.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like clock. I don't know.
It's probably when tapes out.
Are you still in that room you were in?
I imagine they have those like. Yeah.
Okay, it's a little better now.
Okay, better. Oh no, I've got. Right. Hold on.
But
well.
No, what I was saying is that the whole system is a farce, and it's fucked up, and it's another form of control. The fact that you need to see a medical professional to get medicated. In a lot of countries, you don't need medical professionals. In fact, if you go to Vietnam, you go to Mexico. You can get more medications at a pharmacy without a prescription than you would in. You literally, when you go to Vietnam and you go to a pharmacy, you just tell them your symptoms and they'll give you medications.
Yeah, they don't really have, most places in the world, like the chemists and pharmacists, the system doesn't work the way that it works in the States. So yeah, you either tell them your symptoms or you go in and just tell them exactly what you need. You need penicillin for that, for whatever. And they give it to you. There's not there's not a lot of like middleman in between it, I guess. And you don't see a lot of people ODing or taking medication that they're not supposed to. They just, they only really go to the pharmacist when they absolutely need to.
Yeah, in South Asia, you don't see people fucking abusing prescription pain medication. They still smoke opium out there. That's a drug,
Yeah, and I mean, they buy, stuff with opiates in it. You could buy Vicodin or, Oxycontin or whatever you wanted. People do, there are people that are addicted to medications, but then they, through Chinese medicine and just, community programs, they deal with it that way. And not just, letting you struggle out on the street, which is how we deal with it. Most people can't afford an opium habit. So, a lot of that is for export. The only people that I ever saw actually smoking opium were older, right? So, senior citizens that, that was their pain relief for the day. At the end of the day,
they use those bamboo water pipes that kind of look like bongs, right?
Yeah, and like you would see, you know, a grandma or grandpa out there watching the sunset or moonrise, and you know, they would smoke opium before they went to bed at bed. And you could smell it like around, you know, got that sweet opium smell. It wasn't really hidden, but that was like a thing that they did use for pain medication for the elderly. But those were the only people that I saw actually using opium. Everything else with the opium trade was all for export. And I think there was outside of in Vietnam, I think there was an opium den that was around the corner from us, but I never actually went there, even though I wanted to check it out and see what it was all about.
Everybody, you go in there, everybody's sleeping.
Well, yeah, what I always heard, and I wanted to see that with like my own eyes. Like, was it real? And I never went there. We just didn't have time. So I didn't get to check it out. But I never saw anybody shooting up, smoking on the street that wasn't, you know, 70 and up.
Sounds about right.
Oh, wow.
Because culturally, sunset and moonrise are really important. So, like, at the end of the day, everybody goes down to, like, the beach area, and they watch the tide go out and the moon come up. And that was when you would see... like I said, elderly people smoking opium and doing Zumba classes. Getting off of the Zumba classes. So everybody in the town, they're like required to do like physical activity every day. So everybody in the town goes down and does like these Zumba things and listens to music. And there's a lot of like elderly people there. They smoke like an opium pipe and then go do Zumba.
I guess we have Kate Cartel says she deals with pain 324, 365, and the doctors say that most people couldn't take 5 minutes. If you're dealing with that issue, Kat, what you want to do is you don't want to go to your primary care physician, and I know the ins and outs of the medical field. You're going to want to go to a pain management specialist. I don't know. If you're in the United States, that's probably what you want to do if you need to get your pain medication. Yeah, they're making it increasingly harder for your general practitioners and people in the medical field to even prescribe that. They've even got it's so bad to the point where if you want to get off of heroin and you want to get detox meds like Suboxone or which is a combination of an opiate and an agonist, they can only have so many patients. It's gotten to the point in this country where it's so regulated, even the doctors are very limited on what they can and can't do.
Well, I know that's been like a change is like relatively recently where they're becoming more and more difficult for people that are in pain and do have legitimate issues are unable to get the pain medication they actually need.
Yeah.
Because they can't figure out how to deal with the actual drug problem.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. You know, that's what's going on in this country is we have politics mixed up with the medicine, and we don't have socialized medicine. We have what is it? We have what do we have in America? What the fuck? What kind of medical system would you call this? This is fascist medicine. This is fascist medical. This is fascist medicine mixed up with politics.
Medicine, yeah.
Yeah, mixed up with politics. And the problem is the politics is limiting the physician on what he can and can't do. And at the same time, we have the insurance companies jacking up the fucking prices indirectly. Well, actually directly jacking up the prices of everything so that nobody can afford nothing. You know, your prescription medication, whatever it is, regardless, is $100 or more without insurance. You know, this. I hate to say it, but you know, if you live in America and you got some serious medical issues, you know, unless you got some serious money, you are fucked.
Well, yeah, because it's not. You know, the system's not designed for you.
Yeah.
This government does not recognize the people anymore. You're not part of the equation.
Oh no, they'll put like they'll charge things that are enough that look, you're if it's something you truly need, you're gonna die. Jesus, your kid is going into epilepsy seizure, right? You will go and pawn all of your jewelry and sell your car, and sell everything you possibly can to keep that going as long as you can because there's no other choice. And when you're already struggling and someone, oh, it's going to be $300 for your medication. Well, what would you do for that $300? So keep that going for as long as you possibly can, and know that. They'll be able to, especially if it's one of your kids or loved ones, they know they'll be able to drain you completely dry, right, before that person dies. Because you'll pay whatever it costs, right? $100, $200, if it's $300, to save one of your loved ones, that realize you'll pay anything. And they keep it just low enough that your average person can get rid of, you know what I mean? You'll work yourself to death to try to make up that difference. And they figure it out exactly so it's that much. If you live in a place where people are on the lower end of the economic scale, well, your medication's only $50. Why? Because $50 is all you got, and we want to take every last fucking penny. Right? If you're in somewhere where a little bit more affluent, right, it's even more expensive because they know you make a little bit more money. But the price for your drug should not change from one state or one side of the city to the other, but it does.
Yeah.
But they have it pretty well figured so that, it's not enough to think you completely where, they give you something, it's like it's going to be $4,000 and you're like, look, I can't do anything about that, right? I don't have $4,000. Well, how about 100? How about 100 a treatment? And how long could you pay that? You need 4 treatments a month, right? That's $400 right there. Can you afford $400? Yeah, that's all of our extra money, right? That's pretty much everything that I work for. That's your car payment, your electricity bill, possibly food. Right? Can you make $400? Yeah. Will you pay $400 to save your kid's life? Yeah. Will that be the most that they can squeeze out of you, right? And you continue on 100%, and they figure it out just like that.
Yeah, and it's set back in somewhere with Blue Cross or Blue Shield or whatever fucking insurance company, they actually have arguments in a room with their CEOs about this shit,
Well, and where it goes into, okay, what do you mean by profit margin? Oh, well, the pill only really cost us $3 to make, but we sell it for $100 a treatment. Okay, you're not going to be able to do that anymore, right? It costs you $3 to make, sell it for $5, right? You're pushing it too far. That person's life is not worth the profit that you're making out of it.
Yeah, I've had problems, there are problems, in America. In America, you can, when you develop a new drug, you can have the patent on that drug for 8 years before it goes generic, and you can renew it if you can prove that it can be diagnosed for a different problem. Within those 8 years, which possibly can extend to 12 or 16 years, you will have that name brand, right? And within those years, you will jack up the price so fucking high that anybody will pay it because it's the only medicine that will cure X, Y, and Z, or will get rid of the symptoms for X, Y, and Z. There is a serious problem in the world where people are trying to make a profit off of life-saving substances. They're patenting substances,
well, and it's one of those
chemistry.
I run a grocery store. So, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A bit of a laugh. Well, if I run a mom and pop's grocery store, right, there's all kinds of laws to keep me from price gouging, right? I can only sell a gallon of milk, right, for X amount of dollars. I can't sell a gallon of milk for $10, right, or I get in trouble for price gouging. But if you're a pharmaceutical company, you can jack up that price as much as you want, and there's no laws that keep you from doing that. At a certain point, you have to ask, like, what profit is too much? And there has to be a line.
We should ask the last guy that went to prison. How'd you do it? What's his name? The fuck face, the one who had the Wu-Tang Clan fucking. Remember that guy? The one who jacked up the H. What's his name again?
Shizeki, isn't it? Shizeki, something like that.
Yeah. It's like it's a Polish or Jewish, and it wasn't a Jewish name. I think it was Polish. Yeah. And because we have assholes like that in this country. That's the mindset of every pharmaceutical company. Every CEO. That's the mindset that we're dealing with. Did I lose Terrence?
Mindset that drives all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I lost all of that.
That's okay.
I do not understand. I've been live streaming and talking to people on the phone and everything, and no problems. And as soon as we get onto the show, you guys realize I can't even share the show out. Right? One share, and they immediately block my account.
Because we're so popular.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. They hate this show so bad. And, like, I've backed up before and been like, look, we had a technical difficulty. But, I mean, at a certain point, it's personal. Like, they are definitely trying to fuck with us at every turn. And like I said, I can't even share this out. If I share it one time, they lock my account. And that was, like, the show before this one and the show before that, right? I did my normal thing where I'd get on there, I share it to 2 or 3 pages. It's not like I'm going through and spamming or anything like that. And I'd get to about 3 and they'd lock up my account. Now 1 share and they lock it immediately.
Damn. They got that algo working on you.
Oh, yeah. I think they have written one just for us.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't able to post to either ABB or my own page for about a week or so. And finally, what I've been doing is it finally started working on ABB, and then but not on my personal account. You can hit the post button, and you can see it blink and everything, but it doesn't do anything. So I can post to like ABB, and then I can share it to the other one. But
you know what they're telling us, right? Basically indirectly, they're like, you must pay the $3 to boost the post, or we won't lift the ban.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, I have seen those boost ads come up.
Yeah. So if we boosted this show, it would, when people go through the carousel on the videos, we could do it by region. That's what they want you to do.
Then all this would just all clear up.
It would magically clear up. Yeah, if we open up our credit cards to fucking Facebook.
Yeah, fuck you, man. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, we're totally not doing that.
Yeah, that's.
I think the only way that people can even see this show is when they come on here, and even then, they're having issues, and that's partially due to my wrongdoing, but because of the corrections that happen on the back end of Facebook that fix it, it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I think they just like. I don't know.
Well, and I think unlike a lot of other shows, like I am going to kind of toot our own horn here, but unlike a lot of other shows, they don't know exactly what to put us in. You know what I mean? And I think that caused all sorts of problems. They like, oh, you're just a bunch of fucking raving conservatives. You're just a bunch of, raving liberals. Or just, they really like to put us in some sort of box that doesn't match, and it gives us like a scope that I don't think another show I can think of has that kind of scope, that kind of reach without becoming insanely partisan. And it's not like we agree on everything.
You're actually onto that, because like when I do the videos, I can put in certain categories of what this video will be in. I can put in hacking. I can put in anonymous. I can put in that's about it. And then I can't put in news. I can't put in political. I can't put anything else in other than that.
Yeah, it's gotten like this has gotten pretty bad, especially on Facebook. Twitter seems to be a little bit more lax, but then there's all sorts of stuff that I can't do in Twitter. And I don't have the following that we've got on Facebook. Like that's the only reason why I'm still on Facebook. Is just there's a huge amount of my followers that are all on Facebook.
If you could get them on the Twitter,
if you switch over to another network and start from zero again.
If you could get them on the Twitter, I mean, because you can on Facebook, you're only limited to 5,000 friends, and you know, on Twitter, it's like you can have I don't even think there's a limit.
Yeah, there's I think 5,000 friends limit, but then I think we're at like 30-something thousand on my personal page, and then through all the other pages, it like adds up to 3-4 million. But I mean, what 1%, 2% of the people that are there actually like interact or do something or share or anything.
Yeah, I'm on pages. I'm on pages where we're on 350,000 followers, 250,000. I'm on some big pages, and you know, when you share, like they have gotten to the point where you can't have those fucking viral posts anymore. They pick and choose what becomes viral, you know?
Yeah. Well, and we'll have, I don't know, like it's definitely a big enough reach that people recognize you when you're out, but then we'll look on here and it'll say we've got like 10 viewers, which just isn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we'll overcome. It's not working. It's just annoying. Like, I don't know if you guys realize that. Like, that's the deal. For whoever's listening and whoever's doing the censorship, there is like a human component of it. Like, look, guys, it's not working. It's just annoying.
Like,
all they're going to do is annoy everybody so that they go somewhere else. You can't stop people from getting information and getting together. You're trying to turn Facebook into this control freak.
Well, you see, that's the problem.
And nobody's gonna put up with that shit.
The problem is that they do have the algorithms which are fucking shit up so bad to the point where the things that the scripts that they're writing for it are not working right, and I've caught them like fuck up like really bad. And they also have the conservative left wing or whatever, like at Facebook headquarters, you know, political. They say they're unbiased agenda, but they are a biased agenda, getting rid of content that they don't fucking agree with. And you know, they even said, you know, this was even questioned, you know, when Mark Zuckerberg was in fucking court, you know, like are you an unbiased or biased? And they kept on saying that you can't be deleting posts and saying you're not biased, you know.
Well, yeah, it's not that you're deleting something because it's untrue. You're deleting something because you don't like what we're saying.
Yeah.
You know, even the stuff that we talked about tonight. Look, they're not going to take us down because we're lying. They're going to take us down because we're telling the truth.
Yeah.
You know, it would be easy, you know, if any time we come out with something that's untrue or we come out, you know, we get information that's not on the level, right? Anytime that happens, they jump all over it. You know, if WikiLeaks at any time post something that ended up not being true, right? God, they jump all over that. But that's not what they're doing. If I'm fake news, right? Tag it as fake news. Put like a fake news banner around it.
Oh, speaking.
Right? Everybody that would know it would be fake news. But that's not what you're doing at all. You're trying to silence us. You're not trying to silence fake news.
Terrence.
Y'all love fake news.
Terrence, after the congressional hearing with Facebook, have you seen? I'm not sure if you've seen it. They might be doing this regionally. Have you been seeing Facebook commercials and Facebook posters on the street and internal Facebook sponsored ads that are going around saying fake news and fake friends are not good for you? Have you been seeing those?
I haven't personally. The thing
I have.
Really, the thing
I
that's
have.
Completely in my mind is YouTube, which censors me more. Like that censors me, you know, about the same as Facebook does. It's a little bit better, but not 100%. YouTube is constantly sending me like creators information to join their creators club and to go down to their facility and you know, the people that are influential in technology and all of this shit. And all I could think of is, why are you really not talking to each other? Where like one side is desperately trying to silence me and then the other side is trying to make me one of your creators.
Yeah.
It doesn't It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know, literally, what they want on what YouTube wants to be number one is they want Logan Paul, and they want fucking PewDiePie and fucking retards doing practical jokes to be number one. But God forbid you're actually saying something that's true and informative and can better society. No. That's not something that's going to make it top of this carousel. In fact, you're so good that we're going to shadow ban you. Yeah.
It's fake.
Showing up, and that's the deal. It's just as long as it's fake, then they're happy with it. And that doesn't matter if you're another pyramid rich, quick scheme. What's the guy that's always doing the, what I value more, knowledge guy, the Lamborghini asshole. What's his name?
Oh.
He was real popular here a little bit ago, where he'd teach you how to take $10 and turn it into $1 million, working 4 hours a day or 4 hours a week, some bullshit like that. If you just buy, it's completely fake. It's a pyramid scheme. But they're everywhere. Like those, and they're completely and utterly fake, no doubt. There's nothing real about that. They're a get-rich-quick, quick scheme, but man, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe they maybe it's me. I just get those to because they know they piss me off so bad.
The more I've been seeing it, we should probably just get a BitChute channel if I can figure out how to stream to it, because it seems like a more of a popular streaming platform, to the point where it doesn't have as many biases and it's as popular as some other streaming sites.
I like it, man.
I go with the Anon thing and just pull it like we will be everywhere. Ones that censor us, ones that don't censor us. Some upload some stuff, some places we can upload other stuff, our websites, however it works. But if it's the line, we will be there. And that's kind of the idea that I've went. When it comes to Facebook, I've literally just kind of doubled down. Like, look, if you're going to try to censor me, I'm not going away. Right, I'll send it to people until I can't, and then I'll open up another accounts. I'll have other people open up accounts. Like, we're not going anywhere.
No, it's like not when you make it this obvious. It's like you're making a point to try to stick it to somebody and say they can't do something. I mean, that just doesn't work. That just motivates you to
be honest,
to double down, like you're saying. I mean, that does not work.
No, and it really does. And I know I'm not the only one. Like, everybody that's that kind of like activist, that fuck you mentality. It doesn't stop us. It really does inspire us. Nothing more. Like, if I post something and it gets taken down right away, nothing makes me know that I'm doing the right thing more than them trying to silence us, than them trying to. Like, that means, okay, I'm on the right path. Even if people aren't sharing it or realize what's going on or, interacting, whatever. I know I'm doing the right thing because they're trying so hard to keep this quiet. And it has the opposite effect. I'm not like downtrodden about it, right? I'm inspired by it. Okay, they see that obviously they're scared. And I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? They have when you have a company that's as big as Facebook, as big as YouTube, as big as Twitter, when you have, as big as the US government, when you have those kinds of monsters trying to silence you, it's inspiring. It's David and Goliath.
Well, it's like prohibition. Prohibition doesn't work. It doesn't work. Censorship? You don't think that's going to work? I mean, there's other ways, man. Hey, even if I have to go get an old Xerox machine and hand the shit out on the street, that would be better than what Facebook provides you. I could reach more people in one fucking day than I can on your shitty platform called Facebook.
We should invest in is, we should probably invest back into pirate radio. That's not hard to set up. It's not hard to set up, like, especially when you're dealing with like, the AM bands and shit like that, where you can get some further reach. It's really not hard to get a big audience,
Yeah, that's a tough way to do it, but
and not getting burnt out. Like, people don't realize, even for this show, like how much I'm gonna say it, like Tyler Preston, like you guys put in so much work to keep this going, right? I don't think people you know, we see others in our industry fade away, or they just get tired of fighting. You know, they've been fighting for 4 or 5 years, right? And you know, they're still getting censored and beat up. It's a constant struggle. Not everybody has it in them to keep going. You know what I mean? Not everybody has it in them to do this for 10 years, right? Keep getting the word out, right? To not beating down or actually silenced. You know, it takes a couple, you know, a special kind of person to deal with that, especially over the long term. No matter how like positive people start out on, you know, the first year, you know, we're kicking ass, I'm in it, you know, Occupy, you know, whatever it is, and then within 4 or 5 years they burn out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You
not.
almost have to be. You know what I see. You know, especially the more liberal is well, like at Standing Rock, is you need to be retired. If you can be retired and kind of like that, this is going to be your life. Activism. Quite a few people like that who literally make it their life.
Yeah, I can say like this started off as like, you know, just being involved and not a hobby. Like I loved what I was doing and making software and doing all of that crap, but it has taken over my life. Like this is all I can do now. And, you know, at a certain point you make a choice that look, this is all that you're going to be able to do because you've spoke out so much, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? Go get a government job? They definitely do not want me.
Yeah, I mean, you're a known now. You're tagged. I mean, you can't. Hell, I mean, you know, me or you, we probably couldn't go out and get a corporate job anymore. You're on the list, man.
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, there comes a point where it's definitely not glamorous life, and I'm not PewDiePie or any of those clowns. So I mean, I don't make money off of any of it. You know, I can't, you know, it's definitely what's the word I'm looking for? You know, it's definitely a sacrifice that you give up. You're not going to be rich. You're not going to, you know, you're not going to be able to go in and get those jobs in the government. You're not going to be able to do any of those stuff because you took a stand, because you stood up. Unfortunately, we live in a world where you stand up and you look around the room and everyone else is still sitting down.
Yeah. Or in handcuffs.
You know, exactly.
Who's with me?
Man.
And they're all, I'm with you in spirit, brother.
Yeah. I was with you when we were out on the deck smoking and talking about it, but now, oh, it's fucking real in front of the boss. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
This tear gas is much harder than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I'm out. Well, and I mean, I've had friends that are legitimately scared. You know, it's like, look, I'll support you going to these protests, and I'll support like absolutely, you know, everything. Like I only got $10. Look here, you know, take it, go and fight the good fight. But look, I don't want to get shot in the face. Right? Like they're sick and dumb. It's a war zone down there. There's literally stormtroopers dressed in all black in a police state. I support everything you're doing, but I don't want to die. Right? There's Tiger Swan. There's mercenaries literally waiting for you at the march you're going to. I support you and I'll share your shit. But you know, it's not they don't support you, but you put yourself in a position where you're taking the bullet for them. Right? We're speaking out not because people around us don't know it, but because it has to be said.
Yeah.
I don't think anything that we talked about tonight or any other night, you couldn't go into Google and do a little bit of research and find out about, whether it's, you know, conspiracy stuff, government stuff, political stuff, religious stuff. Like you can go and look up technology. You can go and look up any of that. What we're saying isn't hidden. The fact that we're saying it is what's causing problems for them. Because as soon as one of the
it's the links you make and the threads that you're coming up with that they don't like. You know, it's the conclusions you're reaching that are the problem. You're not reaching the conclusion that, hey, the government's great. I love big pharma. You know, you're saying, no, man, government sucks. You guys fuck everything up. You know, well, can't have that.
They like to put it, but don't you disagree on it? Yeah, that's fine. I still think fuck big pharma. Like those two things have nothing to do with each other, and they like to put down a line in the sand that you can't cross, but they'll cross at any point that they feel it'll make them a little bit of money, right?
Yeah.
So you can somebody, you know what I mean, that disagrees with you on one subject and say, okay, that's fine, right? We can argue about that all day. Let's get rid of the fossil fuel industry. Let's start in green power. Oh,
Yes,
but what about abortion? We can totally argue about abortion in the future, right? Let's get rid of the war for profit, and then we can see how that goes. Right? Like there's so many
So go ahead.
that your agrees on that they would like to keep you divided on completely unrelated subjects.
Yeah.
Well, look at the narratives they're pushing out here. It's like you just keep rehashing the same old shit all the time. It's like they have to in a fake way abuse you or in order to keep this going. You know.
And they'll do. You know, I don't know which event is a false flag. Right? Our government does set up false flags. They do that. Right? That's not hidden. There's plenty of instances where they do it, plenty of instances like where they would like to continue to do it, and plenty of instances where they've written down their, you know what I mean, their plans to do it. Which one of those is a false flag for which issue? I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you the people that are setting up those false flags are not good people.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have your best interests in mind, or they would not need to set up a false flag.
Yeah, you mean like Paddock?
Yeah, I mean, we can argue
that's
one way or another. Ones that have been proven, right? You don't have to argue about those at all. You did set up a false flag. Why is nobody in prison for that?
Yeah, well, they have to do that to drive a narrative and to try to herd you some way. That's why they do it. I mean, otherwise, it's like they have no reason to. It's just like, why don't we just follow what the people are doing and give them what they want? That'd be a lot easier. Hey, it'd be keeping everybody happy. Oh, well, no, can't have that.
No, definitely. Pursue this. Fuck, they would like to write that out as soon as possible.
No, you must produce and consume.
The one thing you're allowed to be is fucking happy.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, isn't that, I mean, if you look at it, isn't that like the big divider? It's like the moment you want something or that you're happy, they have to get in the middle of your shit and fuck it all up. It happens every time, man. Doesn't matter what it is.
Your average person, big and small, right, all the way up to the giant corporation level is where that changes, right? Look at net neutrality. The people were happy with net neutrality.
Yep.
An open, for once, an even playing field between me and a giant corporation, right? If I'm a small business, when it comes to the internet, I have just the same ability as the giant conglomerate next to me that's slaving out Malaysian children to make their product, right? A level playing field. We were happy with how that was working. The corporations were unhappy about it, and you see which side they sided with, which isn't a surprise.
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
But no, any time that you can look, or what now we're going back on the letting, you know, I don't like using the word letting. You can't force somebody or stop somebody from being in love with anybody that they feel like, but them trying to roll back the legalized marriage for gays and lesbians, right? Why? Because you were happy. It doesn't affect you. You're not gay. You're not lesbian, right? You're not in love with anybody that's gay or lesbian, but yet the government needs to come in and make sure you are unhappy for no other reason.
Basically.
Because if you're not gay, right, it does not affect you. Right? Nobody, you know, all the people in government, just about, I think, I mean, it's such a small percentage that's in the, LGBT community, right? Such a small percentage in our government, right? 99% of our government, it does not affect them, not one little tiny bit.
I would say it's probably more like 40%. They're just in the closet.
Yeah, they're just closeting it. Yeah.
We're talking about the Republican Party, definitely.
Yeah.
They look, guys, y'all got to just come out of the closet. Every time there is, you know what I mean, a senator that gets caught cheating on his wife with a male prostitute, it is always a Republican. Like, just be who you are. Like, obviously you're unhappy, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be in that situation.
It's just weird how that goes on. not that it goes on, but it's just like, why is it the little boys with the Republican? You know, that really blows me away, man. It's just I don't associate like you being conservative or conservative values and then the little boy thing. I can't equate that, man, and make it equal.
Yep.
I don't know where that shit comes from.
But from anybody that's not a child molester, it doesn't. Like, child molesting does not seem to anybody that's not a child molester, right? Like, there's, you know, it immediately kind of makes your gut turn a little bit. Like, that's not only weird, but kind of evil. Kind of. It's all the way evil, right? Like, it kind of makes your gut turn thinking about it because it's so far out of your reality, right? Out of the things that you always think. Like, exactly what does this have to do with being conservative? You know, when you go into politics to help the people and you're standing butt naked in Bohemian Grove, you have to think, what does this have to do with politics?
No, we're worshiping the devil. This is what it's all about. Aha!
We have filled this place with underage boys. Okay, first of all, I think you were really mistaken on to get to turn to your side.
What do you think the cremation of care is all about, bro?
Like, this
they're
was
praying,
not the look. I'm not.
They're praying to an evil deity that's shaped like an owl with a sacrifice.
That's a blood sacrifice. That's a human sacrifice. Blood sacrifice, man. Yeah.
Okay, I just I think I'm at the wrong party. Like, I feel like
it's so. Yeah, it's activity going on in the woods, and then you're supposed to be. It's like you're all getting together, and you're like going to powwow for official business, and you know which direction the country's going to head, and all that. I mean, it's important stuff, you know. But it's like, and then you mix it all together in the forest out there in California. It's like, what the fuck, man? How does that equal?
So what the fuck?
I mean,
why are a bunch of butt naked old ass senators dancing around this altar, sacrificing young boys, and not like actually sacrificing people? You're just having sex with young boys in front of a weird altar.
Yeah. Hey, nothing to be seen here, right? Nothing weird about that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not just weird. This is fucked up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know,
and you're going to do it for how long? A week? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Really?
It's 2 weeks, yeah. In the summer.
Oh, man. I mean, a couple of days of that, I mean, you'd be done, right? I mean, even if it was just hot chicks running around, you were chasing them.
Oh, there ain't no hot chicks there. It's
after a couple of days, you can.
Yeah, that's.
Well, yeah, but you can only have so much sex, man. I mean, you're going to be, after 2 days, man, you're going to be spent, man. You're done. You know, and they're out there 2 weeks.
And it.
Fuck, man.
That's the deal. Maybe for one of us, I don't know. You know, I showed up in my good suit, right? My cup in hand. They told me there were going to be prostitutes. This is just a huge letdown.
They're all male prostitutes. You're like, hey, man, what happened?
They're all male and underage prostitutes. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. I thought I was going to come here, listen to some speeches, and conduct government business on the side illegally. What happened? What is all this?
I mean, to be honest, how much government business do they really have to do? You know what I mean? If it comes from a corporation, sign yes on it and move on. Like, that doesn't seem like it should take a week to figure out. Oh, let me guess.
No, man.
Yeah, okay. So now that... Let's get to the fucking of the young boys. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what it's really all about? I mean, if the rest of it's all bullshit, sex out in the woods, you're all fucked up for 2 weeks, man. You're gonna have weird gay sex for 2 weeks. Oh man,
with the occult wrapped into it. There you go.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Oh, how could I forget that? Yeah.
It just doesn't. This is the worst family vacation ever.
Dad, we went to the wrong summer camp.
Windows up.
I mean,
We're gonna send your mother.
You know what?
Send your mother out to make a phone call. She's an over 18 female. She will be fine.
You know, the best part of it was when Alex Jones was there and he was getting chased through the woods. You remember that shit,
Yeah.
man? You know, him and his buddy, they're actually like running for their lives and for their bunghole to keep it in one piece. You know, like
What are you gonna do when Paul Ryan is chasing you through the woods with a hard on? Run.
oh
Run.
fuck. Yeah, as if he doesn't have a hard on all the time when he's passing all this crap legislation. You know, as if you're not fucking us enough already.
Yeah,
You actually have to do that.
Alex, to be honest, Alex, what do you think would have happened if they caught you? You don't want to know.
Oh man, yeah. Oh god.
Your ass will be hurting for weeks, bro. That's what happens.
Maybe that's what happened. Like, we're only getting the end of the story, right? That's what happened to Alex Jones. He was on his way doing investigative reporting, right? Exposing Bohemian Grove. They caught him, right? And now, then for the oligarchs, right? The corporation.
So now the and he's compromised.
No.
No,
They invited him. They invited him in 2015, and that's when the change happened. They invited him back. They're like, hey, you don't need to sneak in here. You can come here on your own. Just sit down, party, have a few drinks, go to the cremation of care, hang out with the guys naked. Everything will be okay. And that's when the change happened.
Yeah, right. Frank Kool-Aid.
Oh god.
Well, like if that was true, if you really were like, you know what I mean, invoking some ancient god, right, to the Bohemian Grove, how disappointing would that be? Like, to be honest, you're the god of all evil. You're you're used to human sacrifices, some good old fashioned Roman orgies, right? And you pop up to the U.S. Senate, butt crack ass naked, filled with Viagra. This is a nightmare.
Actually, you know what's kind of creepy is that I've said this before about Lilith and it actually not being Bagul or whatever the fuck it is. But the owl was the original logo for the Illuminati. It was not the eye. It was an actual the old logo for the Illuminati was an owl. So the rituals that they're doing, they could be older than when the Bohemian Grove was there. These could be from the 1700 from Adam Weishaupt and just handed down,
Just weirdness.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, you should have no government. Like, look, if you've been to Bohemian Grove, you do not belong in politics. There's something the matter with you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But a lot of these are like ritual things that they twist to their own, identity that says that you need to have sex with young boys, but the church twists it to make that happen, right? There's nothing in Christianity that says that you need to give Cephalodollar dollar billions and billions of dollars, right? But they twist it to that ability. Chances are there's nothing in those rituals that require you to have sex with underage boys, but they twist it so that they get to have sex with underage boys.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
What is that? What was that?
I think the two things were
the pedophile mansion they had, the island that was just all like kids and pedophile. What the fuck was it?
That's Epstein's Island.
Epstein Island. There you go.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense. And what, like, I mean, it's hard to get your mind around that kind of thought process. What makes you, at any point, like, let's say you were the new senator that's coming in. When they said, hey, we're inviting you to Molestation Island, the answer would be, fuck no. But they get indoctrinated into it. Like, no, I'm not going to
not like Clinton, where you're
Molestation Island. In fact, I'm going to make sure that this stops, like, right now.
Well, when you're so cowardly and craven like they are, that no longer even comes up in your mind. That's not something you even think about. It's like, doing the right thing. What for? I mean, who does that?
They feel that they're, these are people that, no matter how much you put it, they're users. So they get off on taking people's innocence, on having that absolute power over somebody. It's not, there's all sorts of things that lead them to why you're feeling the need to screw underage boys at your private island, right? You can afford to buy a private island. Do you fill it with beautiful women? No. You fill it with young underage boys. Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, you got to really be fucked up, man. Or you just got so much money. Maybe you've been rich all your life, like Trump, and you've just, regular vanilla sex just doesn't even get you off anymore, Terrence. It doesn't give you a hard on. You got to go for something more,
God, I don't know. I've had some really great sex. I've never rolled over and thought, you know what? I need a molestation island. That would just make this perfect.
Just put a goat in there or something, make it all weird.
But it is, like, I think you're right in that. It's, you know what I mean? It's taking from people. It's like there's a whole thing. Not just that they're underage boys. It's that you're stealing from somebody. It's a power game. It's a whole line of how you end up getting these in politics. They get off on using people, right? They can't take more from someone. You're as innocent as you're going to get, and they're not innocent. When it comes to these, these rich people, they do hit like a limit. It's not that just sex is great. What you're doing, right, is rape. That's what you're into.
Right. Yeah. It's. I don't know that it's really so much the money. I mean, because you see people of regular means do this as well, but you really see it among the elite and the people that have more money. I mean, they're the ones that are into all this weird shit and control freaking and all the rest of it.
It gets in the difference between somebody that's a murderer, right, and then somebody that sets up a murder factory for profit. There are people that are twisted out there that are child molesters. You've set up and bought a private island for you to child molest, right? For you to touch little boys, right? That's such a difference in, both of them are definitely problems. Both of them are definitely a sickness, but you set up an entire evil system to support yours. Right? That guy has a serious mental issue, which they may have serious mental issues too. You must have a mental issue, right, to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like, normal people don't think that way. If I wash up an island, dear God, I am hoping that I'm not on Molestation Island. I was hoping. Where is that island?
Oh God, how did I end up?
Yeah, that'd be my luck.
Yeah, like you wash up on one island in the Pacific. Great. This is the worst. This is the worst tropical island ever. Last time I got lost in the woods in California. Now there's no way off the island.
Yeah, you could be roaming through the forest in California and think, man, this is a nice place. I mean, it's really scenic. Look at all these nice trees. And then you'd look around and, like, got all these weirdos chasing you, peering through the forest, like, kind of looking at you funny.
Yeah, because
running around with hard hugs.
Yeah, that'd be.
What we've got going on.
Yeah, that's not a utopia.
I mean, to them it is. Like, it does go back. This is an issue that isn't in just our time.
No, this goes all the way. There were, there was. If you go back even into the Roman, old Roman and Greek stories, the politicians back in the day were into, like, just as fucked up shit as then. I imagine that it goes back to the dawn of time.
Well, I mean, it goes like the other cultures. I mean, there's some that have went, like, young, right? So I mean, a lot of Chinese culture, they're elite. It was always young girls. The Egyptians really weren't into child molestation. That wasn't their game.
Well, Greek and Roman, they were into.
By then, they were.
Yeah, they were. It was the similar stuff that we would see today in that realm that was going on back then.
Well, and it wasn't just, like it was somehow hidden. So, when you turned like 12, something like that, you were assigned an older man to stay with you until you got to rape you until you got old enough to marry, and then you guys had to part ways. This was something that was like ingrained into their culture. That's weird as fuck.
Oh, that's weird.
And you get like, yeah, like that was the deal. So, if you were a scholar, you got this little, underage boy as your, is your underling that you had weird sexual relations with. That was all part of an elite culture that's always been there. The church took that over really quickly, doing basically the same thing. And that's kind of moved on. The rich and powerful elite always seem to have this weird obsession with child molestation. But it's, it is the ultimate show of power, and then the fact that nobody's going to do anything about it. We know about it, right? We're talking about it here on your molestation island. We can tell you where the island is. We can tell you who's involved with it. We can tell you who was at Bohemian Grove. Those things are not hidden. Right. And because they're not hidden, that's even, that's even more of an ego and power boost to them. You can do whatever you want and they're not going to say anything. Right.
Yeah.
Because they never rise up to you, no matter how many of them you take.
Yeah.
You're popular tonight. Yeah, we need to have a list to exactly like just a counter to see who we're pissing off at the right time, so we can make sure to get.
We actually got more listeners now, that we're talking about more controversial shit.
Well, we should, man. You can't be pussyfooting around nowadays, man. I mean, they got major channels shoveling, corporate crap at fake stories. I mean, you got to keep it real.
Yeah, I think that's something that we like that we do well on this show. Is that we don't pussyfoot around. You know what I mean? We'll say what the truth is without that weird corporate bias. Look, is there a reason why CNN isn't constantly covering Molestation Island? Right, that should be a huge story, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. In any other time, any other place, it would be. I mean, it's so outrageous.
Yeah, but yet nothing. And I mean, we can name off plenty of instances that are like that. But you have to ask yourself, okay, why isn't this on headline news? And since it's not on CNN, why isn't it on Fox? Right? When when this person's in power and that person's in power, it's odd that all of you, if we know about it, you know about it, right? But yet, for some reason, you never mention it. We have trouble talking about these people and these politicians and the things that they're caught up in without mentioning it. You would almost have to do that on purpose.
Yeah, everybody knows, man. I mean, it's just like it's all out there now. Tapes, pictures, videos. I mean, so say 70 or 100 years ago, it would have been an outrageous conspiracy theory that a verbal something that you heard, no proof, even if people knew it was going on, so you were able to suppress it. But nowadays it's like, I mean, literally almost everything is out there, and they're blatantly doing it out in the open anyway. Like they want to get caught, because if they get caught, nothing happens. It's all a big joke.
Well, I mean, and look at the way that even that is the time when corporate media jumped over. Remember the Pizzagate thing, right? And I mean, that was everywhere on the internet. Each and every one of them pumped out like this weird propaganda about it. But then, it more than stopped. They were actually just taking pride, trying to discredit that in this one instance, right, you didn't have all your ducks in a row. But no doubt you guys are running child prostitution rings. The where is not important.
Yeah, the bullshit story was a cover for the Podesta emails that were actually talking about it, doing that,
and then
actually doing it. But we had to get this bullshit ping pong story, and You know,
Yeah, that kind
like
of a lot of the Comet Ping Pong story. That stuff went
yeah,
there were even some weird videos where I was seeing where like they said, oh yeah, evidence of child rape, and it's like there are kids that go there because they think they do have an arcade there, and you heard the kid whining, and that was evidence. I'm like, some of the stuff that I was seeing come out of Comet Ping Pong was like, bro, like you guys are like some of the stuff they were talking about was like fantasy land, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is those stories, because it doesn't get out in the actual media.
Story.
You people that are raised up is it's just not real. But then that doesn't see that's just where it would kick in. You know, yeah, the story about the Pizzagate. So we're here at the molestation island where they're importing children to be molested by politicians. Here's the video of it. This is real. And that's not hard to find. I can show you the location on Google Maps, exactly where you need to go, right, to expose this. Are you going to do it? No. Are you going to mention it? Absolutely not. Are you going to mention the people that are there and involved with it? Nope. But it's not hidden in any way, shape, or form. You'd sit there with a camera, right, and you could mark off the politicians that show up there.
Yeah, it's just another milestone that they've hit. They can actually do this in front of your face on TV and get away with it. Done, no accountability, nobody gets in trouble, and you get to see that too. It's like, yeah, we'll throw that. Oh, there'll be a hearing. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and then nothing.
Yeah.
So everybody knows. And
even when they come out and lie to you, like lie directly to your face, like everything that happened during the Bernie Sanders campaign, CNN, NBC, all of those guys, they legitimately lied to your face, right? Tried to cover it up, was spotted by the DNC. None of that is hidden. That's all 100% true. But then they expect you when they come out the rest of the night, oh, well, you're not lying to me now, are you?
No.
Oh, of course not. We would never. Yeah, but you just got done lying to me. Well, the trusted name in news. Who trusts you? Other than that logo, who trusts you? And then you get to like to where it comes to like our show, where look, I might not be right all the time, but you can trust that I'm trying to tell you the truth, right? I'm not deliberately hiding things from you. You know, I've got no weird agenda. I'm not bought off by anybody. The things that I'm telling you, we're telling you because we know, or we have proof, or we're involved with things that we know that are true. We're not trying to lie to your face. And if we get information that isn't true, we come out and say, oh, that's totally bogus.
Yeah.
Right? We were misled the same way that you are, but we're willing to come out and say the truth. Look, nobody would be as mad that that CNN got a news story that turned out to be bogus. You came out and said, look, we checked it out. We did some investigation. Wasn't real. But that's not what happened. You deliberately lied to us. And then anybody that even talks about it, you try to shut down.
Yeah.
Right? People are to our spot to get news because they know that you're lying to them and there is no alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the few games in town. They're one of the few approved mouthpieces that gets to do this, and then gets funded behind the scenes. And they can even lose subscribers, lose business. Doesn't matter. They're gonna be supported. The New York, these papers that constantly go bust, but they're always there as they shrink. They're the news standard. Nobody else gets to take the place.
Well, in half the time, what I've seen recently in news is our corporate news does not break stories. Right? They get stories from the
copycat.
No,
there's one investigational journalist, and then everybody will copy off of that guy. Yep.
Yeah, or it's just out on social media, and they can't shut it up, so they have to post about it.
Yep.
So if you look at like the police videos that come out, look, the news agencies aren't going and investigating. Police. It's posted on somebody's Facebook of the viral video of this guy executed, right? And now you have to talk about it because that's all that's being shared on CNN, or on social media. But you didn't break that story. The pipeline, breaking. You didn't break that story that it was leaking into the water, right? The water protectors that were there broke that story, posted it on social media, and now you can't shut it up, so you have to talk about it. Chances are it's propaganda. No doubt.
That's why they want to control the narrative completely. They don't like having to answer or even cover up stuff that you bring up. They're tired of that. They want to control it completely. So if they got to censor you, shadow ban, whatever it is, cut you off with the ISP, then they're going to do it because they're tired of dealing with you.
Oh, definitely. And like, look at like the war in Syria, right? There is a CNN correspondent on the ground all the time. We were talking earlier, 300 bombs are dropped a day. Right now, when something that the government wants to push happens, they killed some leader, they did, X, or this is happening, they are all over. How come you don't report about the 300 bombs that are dropped every day? Right? There should be a report every single day of the war that you're in. But no, only on the things that we want you to hear and want you to know about. But to be honest, on an average day, 300 bombs, even in the back pages of CNN, you know what I mean? It's not front page news, right? There should be a report every day about it, right? Yeah. 300 bombs, that's no small amount, right? 12 people killed here, 24 people killed there, 150 people come there. That's news. But yet you don't hear anything about it. You will hear about when we, when we attack Assad for this or that, or when we have something that you want to see, that they want you to see, right? To move your thoughts in one direction or another. But it's in no way, shape, or form news about what's going on in the ground, what's going on in the war. You look at how many correspondents are in Yemen right now? When was the last time you saw a Frontline post about Yemen?
Oh, not in a while.
Nothing.
Yeah,
man.
you almost get. Well, they don't. They're
almost.
Yeah.
Not even a blog piece out of all of the correspondents there. There's not one of them gets on and blogs about it every day.
Yeah, this is like 3 or 4 factions going on. There's the Houthis, and there's Al Qaeda there, and ISIS is there, and the Saudis and the Iranians are fighting a proxy war. It's fucking crazy.
But you can't station a cameraman and a reporter there, to give you like a daily update from the Yemen front.
Oh, guys, we only have a minute and a half left.
I mean, and that's what it is. Yeah. Well, let's thank everybody for listening.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, that went real quick.
Yeah.
We made another show.
Yeah, like normal. Thank all of our viewers and subscribers and the people that are sharing this out. I think all of us kind of agree. Look, we're gonna keep at it as long as we can. As long as we have your support, we won't stop.
Also next show,
we definitely value the people.
We're looking like we're gonna be doing possibly a dual show with possibly Sea Shepherd and Barrett Brown coming here talking, and they will be talking about what Sea Shepherds is the whale activism, correct? Terrence?
Yeah. So our guys from the Sea Shepherd are going to be coming on. They were going to try to come on tonight, but they're traveling in between here and the UK. On our page, I do have the video from Iceland of them slaughtering the endangered fin whales. This is one of the last places that still for some reason is murdering whales. We do have the video. I'll probably have that up sometime today. I have not posted it because it's fucking heartbreaking, guys. Yesterday was my birthday, and I just could not, I wanted everything to be positive. I could not post this nightmare yesterday, but we are posting it. Gary's been one of my friends for a decade. He's one of the reasons that I got into this and have kind of stayed at it. He's always exposing the shark fin issues and illegal whaling. These are some really
guys,
great guys.
We ran out of time. Damn it. All right, guys.
So close.
Let me